Nope, don't end it. I think we're live. We're live.
We are live.
Don't worry about that. That was the test page. So we're fine, man. Cool. We're fine, Nate. We just need to check it out. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. Sometimes these things come at us. We'll catch our breath and get moving forward here, though. So thanks for joining us. This is the Oktoberfest Blind Beer Tasting Show, our annual show, one of our favorite ones that we do. We taste some Oktoberfest beers. We taste Marzens. We taste Festbiers. We're not picking on the style there. If it's Oktoberfesty, we're going to sample it. So we'll get into the actual radio portion here in a little bit. We've got our good friends with us, Nathan Scheiber of Cherry Street Brewing here with us. Nathan, you were here last year, right?
Absolutely.
And Ant Story, one of our fantastic sponsors, Storey Time Construction, building breweries and restaurants and bars and wherever they need you, right?
Yep. Upcoming distillery.
A distillery. So cool stuff. So we're glad to have you here in the studio and sampling some beers with us. We have a mini Oktoberfest party.
Yes.
Right. We've got bratwurst here. We've got pretzels. We got soft pretzels. We have homemade mustard and sauerkraut.
That's right. Yes.
That's because you and I took up fermenting foods and home stuff like that as our COVID hobbies.
And the one thing that stuck with me is sauerkraut. I love it. And it takes any sandwich you make at home, like any boring, crappy sandwich you were going to have for lunch, takes that next level, makes me completely satisfied with it.
There you go.
Yeah, that boring lunch meat, suddenly it's amazing.
Suddenly amazing. Good stuff. Well, you know what? We're going to get into it. Nate has been kind enough. He's going to set up the blind tasting for us. Only Nate is going to know what we're drinking each round. And we'll get together at the end of the show and do this. So for those watching online, we're going to sample here. In between the segments, the official radio segments. So you'll get to hear our discussion and all of that. And then we'll kind of dive into the Cliff Notes version of those tasting notes once we get into the show. But that's it. Nate's here. Nate had a fishing injury.
I did.
But you're mobile, so that's good, right?
Well on the way to recovery. Yeah. Took the stitches out myself last night. Just got to be tough.
It's easier, right?
With your teeth?
Easier.
Just
Well, I was like, I know my threshold of pain, so it makes more sense for me.
He did it with his teeth last night because he finally got the collar off. The cone.
The cone of shame.
Yeah.
He's been doing nothing but licking himself all day long.
That's it. Yeah, it's great. So glad to have this cone off. So good. And you're building a restaurant with a fun name, right?
Oh yes,
it's a pho restaurant.
Yes,
and they do Q as well, right?
Yeah, they do Southwest Barbecue also.
Okay.
I wonder what the name is.
I don't know. Pho. Pause. Very important here.
That's right.
Very important. Q.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Got to say it slow.
You do. Fun picking up materials, like you said, right?
Oh yeah.
Who are you picking up for?
Let me write it down for you.
Yeah.
No offense. I'm going to tell you the name of this restaurant. I don't want you to take it the wrong way.
Right. You got to pronounce it like the gringos. Then you got to do the white guy pronunciation.
Pho.
Or faux.
Yeah.
Faux.
Faux Q.
Faux Q.
Well, then you can get away with it. It's like, okay, it's a one of them faux restaurants.
It's the faux restaurant.
Noodle ballers.
Yeah.
FAUX.
I just call it Paho. It's a Paho restaurant. A what? A Paho one. Paho.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Good stuff, man. I enjoy this show. We got as we talked last year, we have the traditional German pretzels from Quick Trip.
Traditional, yes.
The traditional stuff. No, but they do make a pretty good soft pretzel.
Quick Trip of Hanover.
That's right. Quick Trip of Hanover. It's a good one. Muchen. They're the official pretzel.
That's right.
Of Oktoberfest.
They got a big QT right there on the V's.
You go there, you got your dirndl stop, pick up your lederhosen, and stop by the QT. So I don't know. Have any of you guys ever been to the Rizzle Dizzle Oktoberfest?
I wish.
Yeah.
I have not. Someone I was talking to said that they were there as a kid and they didn't even realize. I'm like, you were really lucky to be able to do that. Just your parents just took you when you were a kid and you like didn't have to organize it. You were there doing all the whole thing. Now, obviously, you probably didn't enjoy it as much as I would as an adult, but you're also wouldn't be. You get a little more room as a kid. I think it's wall to wall people.
I saw a friend last year that went over there, and
this is number one.
They went to Oktoberfest and didn't have any beer at all.
What?
Like they said they had some other stuff they had to do, so they just didn't drink at all. I'm like, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard. So, all right, numero uno.
All right, the first beer.
Feel free to taste and discuss here. Super casual tasting, which just whether or not we enjoy this. You can use your own rating system. Rated on number of baseball bats, 1 to 100. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, Nate. Whatever works for you.
I like the baseball bat.
Okay, that's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
It's a 5 out of 5 bats. All right. I'm assuming numero uno here. My first guess is going to be this is a fest beer.
Yeah, just looking at the color.
Yeah. Straw color.
All right. That was a little mild, but I guess that's
Mild,
the fest beer. Got a little more bitterness than I want from this.
I'm getting a little bit of mild, like a little creaminess and a little breadiness.
Yeah. Let's see.
I get a touch of like appley to it. Like it smelled a little appley to me, and I don't know if I'm.
What's that? Acetaldehyde?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
think
just
I
a touch of it.
I think I said
had a little bit of
right.
that apple
Acetaldehyde.
when you said it,
Yeah.
it really clicked in there a little
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah.
That happens to me all the time, Ant, where I'm drinking a beer and I don't taste something. Someone's like, I get so and so. And then it's just like,
Well, I taste
High
it, but I
beans.
just can't pop
yeah,
it out there.
right.
I recognize the flavor, but until he said apple.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't hate it in there. It's not excessive, but
Okay. I've got that one then. I've got that one. And so let's see. Looks like we want to pop our comments up there, Nate. Looks like we got a couple people chiming in there. JR. JR. Yes. So it's all open. It's all inclusive, JR. We've got Festbiers and Marzens styles here. And the German bottles just confuse you even more because it'll say Marzens Festbier and this and that. So they don't care.
Oktoberfest Marzen. They get all of it together.
Stick with our stinking American rules here.
That one's interesting. Number 2. That's interesting.
That's not right.
That seems strange.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to taste it now.
Yeah, drink up, buddy.
You said apple was number 1, and I
Yeah.
a lot of like apple cider.
Yeah, I when I first sat down, the first aroma I got off of it, like a hint of apple. I'm like, oh wow, did you punk us with some apple cider over here? But it didn't taste like it. I mean, it's in there, but it's not like a
Okay.
cider.
All right. We got what we got here. Any thoughts on that, guys? I see the faces here.
Yeah, that one's a little harsh.
Yeah,
Number 2 is not going to get too many baseball bats.
it's not. What fraction of bats are you using?
I mean, you got to go half bat.
Half bat.
Start getting quarter bat. Start getting weird.
It just gets
That has a weird.
Yeah.
That's
Just
weirdly
gets
off
crazy.
balance and like an unpleasant finish.
It's on my tongue, which is the strangest part. It's like where it's most offensive to me.
Well, I got to straight up that neither one of those wowed me. Neither one of those did I say wowie to.
1 was better than
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down with 1 more than 2 for sure.
Yeah, I could definitely do a couple of ones.
Yeah, pretty light. What's your palate as far as bitterness goes? Do you like your
Well,
like West Coast or no?
No, I really don't get into the IPAs to begin with.
Yeah.
And so I like stouts and sours and
Gotcha. There we go. I think I drank this last year.
that's
We-
what
no, we
as
all
soon as he
did.
set
We
that
all
down and
did.
said dump it, that's what I thought of was the
We all did, and it wasn't
Wasn't it like decent?
I think it was.
Like
Yeah.
the dump bucket ended up actually being better than some of the beers we dumped
After
in
you
it.
drink all the beers, that dump bucket gets better and better.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Yeah.
evening, it's the best drink around. Like, wow, that's a
It did.
fantastic drink.
Yep.
That
Yep.
was-
So,
yeah.
all right, guys, let's get the show started here. For those watching the stream, we've tried 2 of the beers so far,
Mhm.
and I don't think either of us were wild. And you said you liked number 1, and you could kick back and sip on that, right?
yeah, I could definitely drink a few of those.
Okay, cool. All right.
Number
Well,
2
let's see.
continues to impress me with how bad it is.
What's
Actually,
that? Oh,
like it gets worse as I drink
It
it.
does, yeah. I took 1 sip, and I'm like, that'll do for that one. That'll do for that one. So
was that
there we
tongue.
go.
Tongue.
The
Yeah,
tongue.
there's
The
something
tongue.
going on there. Like I just licked some nettles or something like that. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with that.
All right.
Number 1, I don't hate. I don't hate it.
You ain't mad at it, huh?
It's all right.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Open Open up a tab, grab a seat, and pour a pint. It's time for the Beer Guys Radio Show.
You want free beer? Go to the brewery.
Dedicated to the art, science, and enjoyment of craft beer.
Yo, what's wrong with the beer we got?
Now, here are your hosts, Tim Dennis and Brian Hewitt.
And welcome to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We're broadcasting from the Beer Guys Radio Studios in Marietta, Georgia. And this is time for our annual Oktoberfest Fun Facts and Blind Beer Tasting Show. I'm Tim Dennis, and with me as always is the man who can rock a dirndl like no other, Brian Hewitt.
And you should totally see it right now. Hey, Tim, joining us today, we have Anthony Storey with Storey Time Construction and Nathan Scheiber from Cherry Street Brewing. We're going to talk about blind taste and rank Oktoberfest beers. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Much appreciated. And Brian, important fact there that Storey Time is a Beer Guys Radio sponsor.
They are, yes.
But
yes.
did not impact us having, a little bit.
It totally did.
Impacts us a little bit. But Ants, we've known you much longer than you've been a sponsor of the show. We've hung out, been building breweries all around the area. The breweries in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Well,
Even
thanks
as
for
many as
joining
I
us.
have, I mean, there's still breweries popping up left and right.
Yeah. I probably need to get with you and make sure my list is up to date because you probably know some things that I don't. You probably get the word a little quicker than I do on
sometimes
on some of these. Yeah.
Well, he knows about
we've-
them when they're thinking about getting built. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. When they get there. So we share. It's a, what's the word? Synergistic relationship here.
Symbiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, synergistic.
Oh,
is the one
synergistic.
I'm
I was thinking one's a moray eel and
Or
the other one's a
maybe-
shark or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm not sure which is which.
synergetic symbiosis.
There you go.
Something along
That's
those
probably
lines.
exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Which one of us is the fish stuck to the other side of the
That's
other
right.
one, though?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think we'd be the sucker fish riding along.
Probably,
right? So,
probably. As long as
Yeah.
we get good snacks in the process,
Yeah,
that's
whatever,
fine.
whatever
Yeah.
it takes. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Nate Scheiber, Cherry Street. Nate, second year joining us for the Oktoberfest show.
Yes.
How many times you been on with us before? I think we've
God.
had you a few times, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Easy.
had Joe McIntyre with
That's
us
right.
last year.
And did you do Nate?
Did you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. And Joe is currently in Aruba, and DigiDude is preparing for a move to Mexico.
We had
So these
the.
guys going around.
Did we decide it was the Council of Nates or the League of Nates or something like that? We had something. The panel of
Yeah,
Nates. There was like 3 of you.
it was super confusing.
It
Nate,
really
what?
was.
It was,
Everybody,
right?
yeah.
Nate, Nathan, DigiDude, Nate.
And
That's
actually,
right.
I think
We had all
everybody
the
prefers Nathan, but we insisted on calling everyone
Somebody's
Nate. So
gotta
that's
get
amazing.
something.
Yeah.
We got no Mike Nate, so that made
No,
that.
Mike. Yeah.
No
That's
Mike
right.
Nate, DigiDude Nate, and Nathan or Nate.
Cherry, whatever.
We made it through though.
We did.
There was beer there. We didn't care. Have
Exactly.
beer, don't care.
That's exactly right. It worked well. It worked out well.
It did.
Yeah, it was
Well,
great.
Brian, we're tasting Oktoberfest beers this week. We're pretty open with what we're trying as far as Fest beer versus Marzen. A lot of people talk about that, debate that, but you have done the research, Brian, and you can tell us the difference in these beers, right?
Yeah. So basically, the idea was people had been drinking Marzens. They're bigger, maltier, sweeter, heavier. They're really enjoyable. They're great when the weather starts getting cooler. But people were looking for something they could drink in greater quantity because you've got those big steins. So I think they're called
Liters.
Moss,
I think
M-A with the
nobody
B
knows.
with an S.
There's
Yeah.
really no way to find
Anyway,
out.
yeah, the liters, and so it's a little harder to drink the Marzens in quantity. So they went with the Fest beers. The Fest beers are lighter in body, lighter in color too, typically, but they tend to be a little higher in alcohol. So you can drink them faster, and you can get your you get your twist on there a little easier. Is the summary of it anyway?
So the attendees wanted a lighter beer than the Marzens,
Yeah,
and the brewers responded by like, all right, we'll make it lighter, but it's going to have more alcohol.
exactly. So we're going to see a lot more beer likens out there.
Yes,
you
beer
know?
liking.
You
yes.
remember that? You remember
I
that? term?
do. We've got all kinds of fun
Yeah,
little
yeah.
phrases too.
But I think it actually started off with a Dunkel was the original back
Okay.
in like the 1810 when it first came out. Like it's gone progressively from darker to lighter, and the Fest beer really kind of hit its run there. I believe it was in the 1970s, mid 70s.
Okay.
So
And
yeah.
Brian, what are the rules? Like, I think any beer served at Oktoberfest is considered a Fest beer. Is that or
It's
an Oktoberfest beer?
it's considered an Oktoberfest beer. So any beer served at Oktoberfest, no matter what kind it is, non-alcoholic, whatever, it's an Oktoberfest beer.
Cool.
And the only beers that can be served there are by I believe it's 12 breweries within the city limits of Munich? Anyway, so the city limits there, those guys are the only ones that can brew. So anything they bring basically becomes an Oktoberfest beer. So if they want to do a fest beer, it's fine. So when they change styles, it doesn't matter. It's an Oktoberfest beer because you're drinking it at Oktoberfest. So that's it. So
there you go.
It has to be from within the city limits, and that's the big thing. So it's 12 breweries, and that's what you got. So, and I think the Reinheitsgebot actually applies there. I think they enforce that, though. A little debate on that. I was looking at Wikipedia, and nobody cited a source on that, so we don't know if they're still enforcing that. But I think they are. I think all these qualify.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I doubt they're putting anything funky into fest beers.
I doubt it. I don't think they're doing a lot of crazy dry hopping or adding, passion fruit or guava or anything.
Can
like
you
that
not dry hop for the Reinhardt?
Oh, you probably could. Yeah, because it's hops. You could definitely do that. But I mean, so
only
maybe
on
they are.
Sundays after 3 p.m.
That's
though,
right.
probably.
That's right.
What
Yeah.
that works.
There used to be restrictions on it too. I think you could only brew for certain parts of the year, which is where the Marzens got its name.
Yeah.
So they brewed it then, made it darker, and something that could last until the Oktoberfest season. So,
Like, weren't there rules with brewing that like you could be severely punished if you didn't follow them? I think.
yeah,
Like exiled or put to death, and like
The
seriously.
Germans do punishment.
yeah.
So
There was that does come to mind. I'm trying to remember what I heard about that, but yeah,
I think
it
if
might
we
not
try
have-
to remember, we just chop it to pieces, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It might not have been Germany. It might have been one of the Norwegian
The
countries.
Norwe-
I
that's what I
think it
was
was. I think it might have been.
Yeah,
It might have had
I
something.
think
to
it
do
may have been when we were talking about saisons,
Ah.
and that you had to brew a certain amount, and if you didn't, this and that. But we could be mixing up our
That's
European
right. For the
countries there.
crown or something, they required you
Yeah.
to brew a certain. It was against the law to not brew beer.
Right.
I think
The
that was the thing.
Norwegians had to brew at least 100 liters of fest beer for Martin so they could enjoy them at Passover. And if you
Exactly.
didn't, then you got stoned to death.
And you couldn't you could not participate in Halloween festivities.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the law.
Which is disappointing. It
It's
would be
the
terribly
law.
disappointing. They can't dress up. Yeah, exactly. Tim, let's talk about the beers of the week.
Now it's time for our Beers of the Week. Brought to you by The Nest, craft beer and barbecue in downtown Kennesaw, Georgia. TheNestKennesaw.com.
Brian, we've got a fantastic list, a bigger than usual list.
Yes.
To sample this week. Shout out to our friends at The Nest for sponsoring this segment. It's football season, Brian. Football season's kicked off. The Nest is a good place to go. Nate, years ago when you were working at The Nest, it popped up on
That's
my
right.
The 8-foot hot dog.
Yeah,
I keep
it was
seeing
up
that,
on
yeah.
my on my reminders, my Facebook, where it was called The Longest Yard,
Yep.
and it was it a 3 meter? It was a yard
It
long.
was a
hot
yard
dog, right?
long hot dog with jalapenos.
Yeah.
Ground beef.
Special made bun.
Yeah,
I want
chili,
that back. I
like
need that back in my life.
That's right. The bun was special.
Yeah,
They,
the
got
bun.
them
I mean, this
special
was a
made
yard
for them.
long
Yeah.
sausage on a roll.
It came out in like 8 pizza trays or something.
Yep, had to stack them together to make
It was like a windy road of meat. It was amazing.
Yeah.
We are going to talk to our people at the Nest and see
That's right.
and demand that they bring back
We
the
demand
longest
you bring
yard
that back.
sausage.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check them out. Football season, get some wings, have a beer, watch some football. Good times. Brian, Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Festbiers, Marzens. Run down this list really quick, and we'll dive into them a little more as we go on. Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest, Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Now to mix it up a little bit, Brian, Sam Adams Fest beer is out this year too. It's going to be put in the mix, but they may be in the same round. They may be different. There's just really no way
Nobody
to know.
knows.
We'll find out. At the recommendation of Highwire Brewing, we have Highwire Circus Fest in the list here. Ironmonger Oktoberfest, our good friends at Ironmonger have an Oktoberfest out. We're going to get into that. Yingling, Brian, because that is a popular one. We have Hofbrau München Oktoberfest Bier, and we have Hacker Shore Oktoberfest Marzen, Paulaner Oktoberfest Marzen, Bell's Oktoberfest. And Brian, we have more Oktoberfest than we can handle in
Yes,
the
we do.
tasting. We can't taste everyone in here. We were down, you were down talking to John Roberts at Bold Monk Brewing today, and he sent some of his beer up. We're definitely going to sample that one. We'll see what we can do to maybe mix it in here. He was nice enough to send some up, so
I do appreciate that.
we'll see if we can get on it. And Brian, you know what? We rambled so much about fest beers and that you get no news You know what? Do you want to throw it? You got something to say, right?
It's a quick one. Snyder's has released 2 pretzel beers. One of them is a Goza style ale with passion fruit and guava, and the other one's a pretzel Marzen, and they use pretzels in the mash. So,
and this is Snyder's of Hanover, the
Snyder's
pretzel
of Hanover,
company, right?
Yep, that's correct. And they're available now. And if you can't find them, you can order it from their website.
Crazy,
so 2 different beers.
Crazy
Yep.
stuff. Well, good stuff.
Yep.
Well, you're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. It's our Oktoberfest beer tasting show. We do need to take a break, but we'll be back right after this. Cool. Aunt, can I request you get that mic closer to your face hole?
Like right there.
Yeah, like a
Okay.
fist length away there. Yeah.
All right.
Everybody
Yeah,
ride the mic.
yeah.
Ride the
Yeah.
mic. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Ride the mic.
If they bring that thing back, you got to take a
The
Mexican.
nation
cake
of
shower right now.
notes.
What's that?
Sean
Tim's got to
O'Keefe
take
is looking at us.
the Mexican cake.
Sean, hopefully
Shower.
you caught the
Yeah.
lineup. We just, oh yes, I almost drowned, nearly died that day.
Yeah.
We got we just pitched the lineup there, man. We've got a lot. There's, you know what we're gonna have to do. We love all beer. We're nationwide. We're worldwide.
That's
with
right.
our coverage, and but we got special love for Georgia being the home turf.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe one year, if we think about it ahead of time, we'll gather up all the Georgia beers and maybe do a little side episode just for our Georgia friends.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
a
Yeah.
live stream or a little extra, because there's definitely plenty in Georgia. We could do a tasting just of the
Yeah.
of the Georgia.
That's a
Fresh
good idea.
cups,
There
fresh
there
cups.
are a ton of Georgia in the past have won overall. Like 1 year New Realm won it all.
New Realm
1
won
year
it.
Arches won it all. So yeah, they
So
do.
here we go.
I think-
We've got a little note here from our friend John Roberts. JR is the owner of Max Lagers Brew Pub and the Bold Monk.
The Bold Monk.
Beer. We've got his beer here. Is his a Marzens or Festbier?
I believe it's a fest beer.
Okay, so we've got that here. But Marzens Oktoberfest was originally a strong Vienna style patterned after the beer made by Anton Dreher.
Rare.
Yeah,
You know, he's probably on Google pulling this stuff up.
he's,
right now.
you know what?
Probably
but
is.
he looks sharp.
He's so handsome.
I mean,
he's so handsome.
We can't see him Googling,
Look
so we
at
don't
him.
know.
You know what? We were working on Bold Monk. People kept coming up to me thinking I was his brother,
Okay,
or actually even
It's the hair.
mistaking me for JR sometimes.
it's the
yeah.
hair there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or lack of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the same hairstyle. So good stuff.
All right. Stuff is
Yeah, man.
happening. Beers are being
You know, I tell you
tabulated.
one of the first
Coagulated.
shows that we ever did with Beer Guys Radio when we launched in 2016, our first brew pub focus show. We went to 5 Seasons, West Side, and it was JR and Crawford Moran
Oh yeah.
talking about that. And I think that was right in the SB 63 days.
Do you think Google got that info?
That's right.
I
That's
believe.
right.
I actually believe that. I do believe
know, I was
that.
like, well, fair enough.
I don't call Google. Google calls me.
Yeah.
So
Jared gets a knock on the door. Hey, it's Google. Got some questions
There we
about
go.
beer.
Bold Monk is a fest beer.
There
Now
we
we
go.
know.
All right.
Now we know.
Thanks, John.
I need to get back down there. We had someone asking the other day on one of the online forums what breweries had the best food in the Atlanta area. I tell you what do you guys think? If you're going for beer and food, you're biased. You're biased.
yeah.
Never mind. I
Couple
can't ask
places.
you guys.
I'm biased.
about
I'm biased because of the 2 that I like the best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Hopsticks and Bold Monk.
Okay, you know what? I like hop sticks.
I do like hop sticks a lot.
I know a lot of people.
That was what I was.
Just because of the food style, and this is nothing against Andy or Hopsticks, I wouldn't pick it as my favorite. The food there is great, but man, I love just like bar food and beer. You know, I'm
I do
down
too,
with
but
that, so.
I love Asian food.
Yeah, I
so
can't argue
that
with it. It's
always
great.
pulls me over too. So.
My favorite, Good Word. Man, I love Good Word. Good Word's
Yeah.
great.
There's so many that it's like
It's hard to say.
it's so
anymore.
hard to say
Yeah.
because they are. They're all so good.
But your place, I preach your guys' fish and chips all the time.
Oh,
How's
yeah, the
that?
Sherry
Halcyon?
I think all like at least 2 of the brewers a day eat that. Like
Yeah.
it's that. Yeah, we love
It's
it.
fantastic, man. It's fantastic. All right, guys. Number 3, we got beer.
looks to be the
Could you
darkest
hand me a
so
couple
far.
Pretzel boxes that we could use like palette cleansers here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That, and I've been seeing those over there. Wishing I
There you
had
go.
gotten some earlier at some point. There we go.
There we go. Good quality pretzels here, y'all.
High quality.
There you go.
QT
Break off some
of
that if
Hanover.
you need to.
Yeah, buddy. I think I still got
Some
some
of that.
spicy mustard over here.
Yeah. All
Want
right.
me to bring this on the table as well?
Can you guys hear
That's
the,
probably not a good idea, beer
Probably not
tasting,
good.
but
the
we'll
beer,
put it out
the
here.
beer and the mustache?
All the chewing
This
noises.
is good. This is sweet, nutty.
Yeah.
That caramel. All right.
Yeah, sweet, caramely.
BGR ASMR. Yeah.
Oh, I like the aroma on that one
Yeah.
right out of the gate. I like the color. I like the aroma. What's your preference, Brian? Marzens or Festbier?
I'm probably going to go Marzen, but again, if I want to drink in quantity, just knock back a liter or two. Fest beers are pretty easy to knock back and
Okay.
well made. There's nothing wrong with them, but
Yeah.
I think I do favor the Marzen.
And how about you, man? You going lighter or you going for these malt babies?
I like the malt.
Yeah.
So I like those a little thicker, sweeter.
Yep. I
Ooh.
like the body on those.
Ooh.
Mhm.
This
And I
one's
like this one.
malty, rich, nice caramel notes. That real light roast that you get in a Marzen, you know, that slight sweetness. I also like the sweetness in a Marzen. So
Yeah, there's like a little bit of a fruity, almost a grape like sweetness to it that I get in there. Just a
are
touch.
we drinking the same beer? Have you
I-
been eating?
Well, I did just.
I know you come up with the weirdest thing, grape and apple and like.
Well,
where's
the
that
apple
in
was there, and
fruit
people
cart?
agreed with me. Hold
I
on.
get huckleberry. But
Yeah.
it's a huckleberry specifically on March 13th.
Moonlight huckleberry is what you mean. Tim.
Moonlight huckleberries.
Anybody ever get any North Napa grape out of this? Specific.
I suspect I know what three. I suspect I actually know what three is.
I think I do too.
I think I might. Make your guesses. That'll be fun to see. So
What brand it is? I just did
if you
that
think you know who it is there,
one. You'll get bonus points for that.
you do. You get another beer and a
Awesome.
pretzel.
That's right. Another beer, another pretzel, another brat.
All
Are
right.
you cheating off me?
Yeah.
Are we going to have to put you guys in detention?
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right.
And so what else you working on right now, man? What's going down in with Storey Time?
What we got there's a brewery in Commerce that I'm helping with.
Okay.
One of the partners is a general contractor, so
All right.
they're handling the main build out, and it's also a huge build out that they're doing multifamily stuff above it, a pizzeria, and but they asked me to come in and help them with the brewery side of it.
Cool.
So that's
Pizzeria,
it.
brewery?
Getting
Pizzeria and brewery.
yeah, and donut bagel shop.
Pizzeria, brewery, donut, bagel.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to tell this story right now because we got all here. I got to tell you my West Virginia story. And so you heard us recording the liner spots, White Sulphur Springs and
Mhm.
Lewisburg. That's West Virginia. About a month ago now, I think, right, Brian? Right out a month, we picked up a new station in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. My mom's side of the family, that's our roots. Several generations back is White Sulphur Springs. And for anybody that's a video gamer, Fallout 76, that's where it's based, is in that area. So they name it something different in the video game, but the Greenbrier Hotel is in White Sulphur Springs. It's like the Greenbrier and literally nothing else is what this little town is. And the Greenbrier's claim to fame is in the 40s or 50s, they built a bunker under it for like Congress. If there was ever a bomb threat, they could jump on a train out of DC and run and be safe. My mom told me about this thing way back in the early 80s, and it became declassified like in the 90s. But so that's not part of this story. I guess it is. But anyhow, so we get this brewery, and I called the station manager, and I say, hey, thanks for picking up our show. Kind of interesting. My family is from White Sulphur Springs. He's like, oh, who's your family? I'm like, the Ballstick. Is it? He's like, oh, I know a lot of Ballsticks. So I'm like, no kidding. He's like, yeah. He's like this and that. And we get to talking. And he said, we got a new brewery that just opened up here in town. He said they've only been open a couple weeks, but the owners are so-and-so and David Ballstick. And so I end up calling this dude. And to make this story a little shorter, of all the random things in the world, we get a station in White Sulphur Springs, and I end up being related to the owner of one of the only 2 breweries in the county.
That's crazy.
So yeah. And they're going to be on the show October 6th, the week of
that's
October 6th. So
can we,
reunion?
Can we say we're in a video game now since we are,
that's really pushing it.
I was gonna say
I market every angle I can, but that's getting out there.
Yeah, did you hear us in Fallout 76? We're totally in there.
You could die a happy man.
That's right. Yeah.
But the thing that stayed in my head the whole time after his story started was he was telling me he was from the Great Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah.
What's that?
The only thing that stuck in my head was you telling me that you were from the Great Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah, the wild whites.
Oh, that
West Virginia. That was your cousin. That was your cousin, son.
I can relate to a lot of that. Ken, what's cans, Brian? Ken, friend of the show, Brewerana collector.
Hey, I do have a bunch of cans for him. Actually, I do need to meet up with him. I've got at least 3 large bags of empties for him.
Ken, I don't know if you can see it on Nate. Can you get a zoom on our bottle collection? Are you able to get over there?
Oh, it's under. I have to move out of the way.
There
so
you go.
See
so
it.
Ken, I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that is our mini Georgia beer museum, and it includes the one bottle that I got from you, some ancient Georgia beer history there. So I think I've got one going. It's either I think the 1890s. Ken, can you correct me? You probably know. So it's either 1890s or like 1940s is where my oldest bottle goes back to.
And you've got that shipping bill for going back to was it 1890s, 1890 something or other.
Brad, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Brad.
Good friend.
The general.
I get to follow him. He moved to Arizona.
Yeah.
But I watch all the cool food and beer he drinks out there.
When I was out there, I tried to meet up with him, but we didn't cross paths. But he did give me some pointers on places to go. So that was good.
Was it good advice?
Yeah.
Solid
went some good places. Yeah. It was a good time.
Right.
Arizona's so my wife really wanted to go and do the Grand Canyon. What Arizona has to offer. I like Arizona a lot, more than I expected to.
All right. Yep.
So that second one, I won't say anything.
What's that?
I won't say anything.
All right. I'm going to try and
the second one, yeah.
That one's fruity. I'll give you fruit on that one.
There's a little bit of a tart to the second one.
A tang.
It's a
tang.
I'm undecided. That right there is putting me on a fence, putting me in a quandary. Do I like that in that? I'm not sure if I do.
It's not characteristic, Brian.
No, it's not.
It's kind of flat.
Oh.
Okay.
I was going to say a little. The second one, I think one of my notes was a little on the watery side for me too. So yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go.
But that second one, which I believe was number 4, I like more than number 2. So
okay,
I do. 4 was better than 2 for sure.
I might have to rethink it being better than 1 though. I'm not sure on that.
All right, let's get back in it here. We can go back to recording the show. Y'all feel free. You know what? If you guys are drinking some beers or fest beers out there, let us know what you're drinking. We'd love to know it.
We would.
Yeah. Shout out ATL 6245.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. Cherry Street is great.
It's Greer, I believe is what it says. I agree.
Yeah.
They are decidedly Greer.
It's Greer.
We are Greer.
It's Greer. Quit giving them grief.
Yeah.
Greer and
Oh,
great.
it does say great there. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
I like
they've had
Greer.
a few Cherry Street beers tonight.
That's right.
You know,
Some
Don't
of
be
those ones will
judgmental.
put you over the edge.
you know what? As Brian's here judging people, I saw him take pretzel rods and turn himself into a walrus one night when he was
That sounds like lies to me.
Yes.
I doubt that ever happened.
drunk. I have pictures.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We all know what Photoshop can do, Tim.
That's right. Deep fakes.
That's right.
Deep
That's a
fake
deep
in the
fake.
pretzel walrus.
That's right. That walrus was a deep fake.
Good stuff. All right, let's do it, Nate.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Your revolution is over, Mr. Lebowski. Condolences, the bum's lost.
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. Remember, all episodes are available on demand. So if you missed the broadcast, get the podcast. Beer Guys Radio is available on all popular and unpopular podcasting apps. Now let's get back to the Oktoberfest.
The
drinks.
Oktoberfest show.
Yeah.
Brian, you have some unfun facts to share. But before you do that, why don't we talk a little bit about the beers that we sampled? So in order to use time efficiently and not waste a lot of on-air time with us quietly tasting beer, we're tasting between segments here.
Makes a lot of sense.
And then we're talking this. So we've tried 4 so far. And we'll get this. I tell you what, Ant, I'll start with you. Beer number 1. What's your thoughts on beer number 1?
It was tasty. I mean, it was an easy drink.
Yeah.
Could definitely have a few of those.
And I think we all discussed and we guessed that's probably a fest beer style on that one, right?
Yeah,
With the lighter,
very much lighter,
easier to drink. Yeah. Nate, how about you? Numero uno, what'd you think?
Numero uno was great. 5 baseball bats. for
5
me.
bats on numero uno.
It was perfect. It was very traditional, very mild. Just seemed like something you should be drinking a ton of at a festival. It was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 we've tried so far, which has your most bats?
1 and 3, it's tough.
Okay.
It's 4.5 and
All
5
right.
there. You know,
I got you. And that's what makes this fun is you do get it gets competitive.
Yeah.
You know, to your palate there, you know, they'll have a couple of different ones there. So Brian, what's your favorite out of what we've tried so far?
Out of the ones so far, I think 3 is got it for me. It was a
Okay.
darker one. I like the elements there. I think I'm gonna have to go with Nate on this one. I think number 1 would probably be my second. Give it all things
Fair
considered. My least favorite was number 2. So
Okay.
where were you at on this, Tim?
You know what? I actually think we're all, other than maybe some discrepancies in 1 and 3, and y'all in the last segment will tell you what all of these are because we don't know right now.
Yeah.
Blind tasting. But I think I would go 3, then 1,
Okay.
and then 4, then 2. And I can say
I think I'd agree with that. Yeah.
3 I really liked. I
Yeah.
think we all agree traditional Marzen,
Yes.
malty, rich,
Very
little
rich,
sweetness, very autumnal, very seasonally
Mhm.
appropriate. That's what I want this time of year. So that one was good. Number 1 for me had a little more bitterness than I want, and it was a little lighter than I like in my preference for the style. So 3 definitely takes my spot right now. And number 2, I didn't care for number 2 at all. So
Number 2 had some issues, but you know, it's worth noting that, like we said, the first one's a fest beer. The other 3 have all been Marzens. This is what it looked like.
that's
to me.
what
Unless
it looks like. I think
somebody got really crazy with the color, you know, the grains they
you
use
just
in a
never
fest
know
beer.
these days. You just
Yeah.
never know.
So 3
these
Marzen
days.
and a fest beer so far,
Yeah.
and it looks
Okay.
like the Marzens are winning right now.
So I kind of figured they would for me, just
Yeah,
with my
yeah.
palate. I kind of figured that would
But
be the case.
that fest beer is nice. I could see knocking back that in quantity. I could see that. Yeah.
going back and forth, you know, do that till the sun goes down.
Pacing
You know,
yourself.
Exactly.
You get those sweet, and then you finish it off. You know, you switch it back to a little bitter hoppy, and then I think that'd be my
Yeah.
move.
That's a great
Okay.
strategy
That's
right
your
there.
move?
Yeah.
That's my move.
Okay.
I said 4. I'm 3 and 4. And
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Partly because the 4 was a little flatter, a little less carbonation in it. And
You like that?
I like that.
Are
a
you
little
one of
bit
them
better.
Cascale freaks?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I figured it's right.
I just the lower carbonation
Okay.
is better for me. You know, people are horrified how I just dump a beer in a glass sometimes.
Pour it hard and let it bubble off there
Yep.
some, right?
That can be good though, especially if there's a lot of aromatics, because that'll really release them all. And I've
That's
been
why I
surprised at how good. Yeah, exactly. I knew that about you.
Yeah.
I've been surprised at how good that can, or how different that can make a beer taste. Pouring it really
It
hard.
can.
Yeah.
We've got on our countertop over here, we have a physics.
Yes.
That is, are you familiar with the physics? Either of you guys?
Mm-mm.
So this thing came out probably about 5 years ago, and it uses, I think, ultrasonic vibration. It kind of simulates a nitro pour, sort of. And we got in touch with the owner of the company. And I don't remember if we reached out to him or vice versa that we were interested, but we connected. And he sent us a couple of these units to check out. And I'll admit, I'm always curious to try gizmos and gadgets. I had low expectations for this thing. Works extremely well.
It does.
And it really changes the mouthfeel, the aroma, and all of that. Can be for the better or for the worse, because there's certain beers that the way it changes it doesn't work with. But there's some that it really opens them up and brings out a lot of those aromatics and stuff, that like floral beers, milder beers, and that. So which would probably be equivalent to like the hard pour to get it to
exactly
foam up like that.
It definitely takes a lot away from some other beers. So
it
you have
does.
to be very
it strips
selective.
Some
once
of
you
them,
do.
it sure does.
I think that they were pushing it towards people doing a Guinness pour. They were going for that, but it's got far more ranging abilities than that. It's got a lot of
just
application.
pour it in a glass and just set it in the machine and just shakes it.
No, you put it inside and there's a hose that you can put a whole growler in there and pour it out like a tap. But they went on Shark Tank.
Okay.
They got funded by Shark Tank, and then
I have the 6-pack version of that.
you do have the 6-pack version of that. Yep. And then so they had yours doesn't do that. It just pumps the beer out. Yours is just a tap, right?
Is it just I think there was supposed to be some sound involved in it too to help keep it carbonated.
Was the sound you just like making noises while you filled it?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. Yeah.
that
doesn't count, man.
That was
That
one of the
doesn't
most
count.
intense stereo experiences our listeners have ever had.
Just
The
blowing
most
raspberries
harmonic
at your
experience ever on Beer Guys Radio.
You are welcome.
Yeah. Well, Brian, let's talk unfun facts about Oktoberfest. You no fest this year in Munich, right?
Yeah, for the second year in a row, Oktoberfest has been canceled. And prior to last year, the last time Oktoberfest was canceled was 1949, which I believe was I don't know why 1949. That's
that wouldn't
too
have been
late for the war.
period,
There must have been something else going on. I looked at it and I thought, oh yeah, it's a long time ago. That was World War II. It's like, no, I think that was afterwards. But at the moment, the next Oktoberfest is planned to start September 17th, 2022. So we are a year away. That's a very unfun fact when it comes to doing the Oktoberfest stuff.
Do you have any funner facts about Oktoberfest?
I do. There have been 186 Oktoberfests in Munich, and the price of a liter of beer in 2021 was going to be around 12 euros or 12.5 euros. As we mentioned before, only 6 breweries are allowed to produce beer for Munich's Oktoberfest, and that's Augustiner, Hackershore, Lowenbrau, Polliner, Spaten, and Hofbrauhaus. And they're all, like I said, they're all legally within the Munich city limits. Officially, legally, any beer style sold there, as we talked about, Oktoberfest beer. Doesn't matter what it is, it's an Oktoberfest beer because it's there. The
Lowenbrau there, to my understanding, unrelated to America's Lowenbrau.
I believe that's correct. I never thought to look into that, but yes, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Budweiser is Czech, but there's a Budweiser there that is
Budvar.
But Budvar.
It really was the beer of kings, like
Right.
the one that we have here. Yeah. There is a beer police squad that monitors pours to ensure you are not deprived of your full liter of beer when you are served. The average Oktoberfest glass weighs about 5 pounds. So when people are holding that out, you have to think that that's a little bit more than you're expecting with those Stein holding things, which I guess the point of that is just to hold it straight and not drop it, right?
You can get something like a small book.
Yeah.
And just that amount of weight, you hold it out straight in front of you for a while. It gets heavy.
That's
just
like
holding it out there.
Honestly, just holding my hands out for a long period of time, like looking for food or money or something like that, it gets heavy. It gets difficult.
Some change.
That's right.
Trying to get a bite of steak from a plate to the mouth. He's like, oh my God, so heavy.
So difficult. Yeah, it's the largest fest outside of Germany is in Kitchener, Ontario. They get over 600,000 visitors. The largest in the U.S. is in Cincinnati, Ohio, with over 500,000 visitors.
Interesting.
And as I think this is one you found, I didn't know about this. John Denver's "Country Roads" is a very popular song at Oktoberfest.
I did find that. Yeah. There's a couple of American songs that apparently are very traditional at the real Oktoberfest, with "Country Roads" being one of them.
I'll bet Seven Nation
And
Army
let's go full circle.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 uses "Country Roads" because it's in West Virginia.
Oh, there we go. And I'll bet Seven Nation Army from the what are they?
Right.
White Stripes?
Yeah.
Is that, I bet you, because that gets played at every football game and soccer game everywhere. And probably every Brit there wants to listen to Mr. Brightside because that's their thing. So I'm guessing that gets played
Mr.
too.
Brightside one? Is that just
It's
a
not
guess, or do you know
that's
this?
me guessing. I'm just guessing
don't-
based on what people want to listen to. I wouldn't be
No.
surprised. I'm guessing
No, I don't
somebody
like
asked
this,
for it.
Brian.
I bet you it's played on the tuba too.
No.
Yeah.
No, Brian.
I'm thinking
no.
Sousaphone.
Yeah.
The sousaphone.
Yeah. What I want to see is 600,000 or 1 million drunk Germans singing John Denver.
That would be
Yes.
pretty cool.
I want to see
Yes.
that. I want to
Especially not fully understanding the words.
Absolutely.
That'd be beautiful.
Getting it wrong, mixing German and English together.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a playlist on Spotify. We still have
We
the
do.
playlist.
We
right?
have an
Yeah,
Oktoberfest playlist.
We
out there.
do. So that will be fun to listen
Be a
to.
good time. Awesome. Well, y'all, we need to take a break. You were listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show annual Oktoberfest Blind Beer Tasting. We'll be back with more right after this. Helen,
God, we should
yes.
just play John Denver the rest of the time.
You know,
Yeah.
oh,
We could do that. Oh, that's right.
Zucked.
Yeah.
Zucked.
Yeah,
We'll
I
get
can't with
zucked.
that. We've got a shout out, Sean. Prost to you, man. Prost to you.
Yeah.
Prost.
Good stuff. Cheers.
Prost.
ATL 6245 sipping the Arches, Martin. We have a can.
We
of
have
that.
a can.
We
Yeah.
have a can of that, and I'm looking forward to that. Love Arches. They are
Mhm.
doing good stuff with lagers.
That lager
And-
game is tight.
Of course, mentioning the Helen
Such a good
trip.
brewery.
Helen for Oktoberfest. Confession, have been to Helen several times. I've never been up for their Oktoberfest
What?
celebration.
I never have been there for
You
the.
have to go to the fest hall.
It has to. I have
It's
to do that at
insane.
least once, right?
It's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I have never been to. I have never been to the actual fest hall there and done
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
I've also been, and I was reminded of this looking in the information about Oktoberfest. There's a German town in Washington that I went to called Leavenworth. I've been there as a very young kid. I thought it was cool as hell. Never went there for any Oktoberfest thing, but I have been to a place in Oregon called Mount Angel that has an Oktoberfest and had a good
Okay.
time there.
Nice. I say Leavenworth. You go to prison?
Right.
No, it has the same name. Everybody
Right.
said that too. It's like, yeah, it's like, is it present? No, it's a little Bavarian style town
Sweet.
in the middle of Washington.
It's like the Helen of Washington.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mount
For those
Angel.
that are watching and have no idea what we're talking about with Helen, here in Georgia, there's a little mountain town up in the North Georgia mountains that is turned into a Bavarian village. Like they've redone their storefronts to
Yeah.
look, like
Everything.
old school German. If you go up there, whether it's Christmas or Oktoberfest, it's all German themed. They've got there's lots of good German beer. What's the name of that, John, you and I went to up there?
Shoot. I can't think of the
I forget, but it was good, man. The food
Yeah.
was good.
Well, they're-
and
24 365 every day. You
Yeah.
can go there and get German food, and you can drink like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Oktoberfest
Up
and
at the
have it-
bakery. What is it? Oh gosh.
What is
why
that one?
can't
It's like it's 2 levels and I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Great place, good food. It's just
Oh,
a
yeah, the
scenic little town.
The Troll Tavern or whatever is the 2 levels.
That one's
That's
that
on
one's
the
on the
river.
river.
Yeah.
I've been there. That's the
the
first place.
Hoffer House, is that the one up the hill?
That might be it.
I think it's Hoffer House where they got the
I
bakery
think
in the
that
front
might be
door.
it. I
You
think
go in
that
the front
might
door
be
and it's
it.
a big bakery and then it's a restaurant behind.
It's
There's so many of them.
I think
But-
it's actually upstairs most
was
of what it was.
crowded.
Yeah.
And I think they funneled this just straight upstairs.
Yeah.
So we may have missed if there was a bakery over there.
Oh, sweet.
So,
And yeah,
I love
that
going
could be
there.
it.
yeah.
I
It's so
think
much
the
fun.
that
I've always had a good time.
So
Anytime
much
I go
fun.
up there.
That-
It's cheesy as hell, but I always have a good
Oh yeah,
time
it's
there, man.
it's
Yeah.
people watching.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's like it's a
absolutely.
tourist trap.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's fun. And
That-
now they got the roller coaster going now too.
that troll place with the little river running past it in the middle of summer when it's not too crowded, it's quiet. That's a great place to just relax.
Chill and have a beer.
Oh, it's really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
That little river is the Chattahoochee.
Is that
that
really?
the
Is that
hooch
what that
going
is?
through
It's
there?
the
Is
upper-
it?
It's a
I didn't know
tiny
that.
it's a
All
tiny
right.
little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can almost
Way
step
up
across
yonder.
it. Yeah. On the
On the
Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee.
Big
That's
fish
right.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
But,
You
if
were.
you cut a
that.
tree down and it falls across while they're tubing and you back up 200 tubers, they get really bad.
Hoffers.
Okay, yeah. So
Hoffers.
have
Hoffers in hell.
you tried that?
Yeah. I used to work up at Paul's Steakhouse years and years ago. And before they did the Margaritaville back there, I had to clear a bunch of trees and stuff. And the tree was supposed to fall this way. And it fell this way right across the river.
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
Yeah.
Story-
Traffic jam on the river.
Story Time Construction for all of your tree falling needs.
Right. We build breweries. We don't cut down trees.
I've actually
We
got a lot
stopped
better with
tubers.
trees
Get a
now.
little better.
Yeah.
Gotta
A lot
practice.
There you go.
Couple
We
cars
topple
get taken out.
trees.
A bridge, river gets blocked.
You get better.
You
Suddenly
learn.
everybody
You
gets
learn.
mad.
Yep. Good stuff. Oh yeah. I just realized I'm out of beer. I'm sipping on that. Okay. Beer. What was that?
Get you
That was
this
like
little-
number
4.
Oh, take a little hit off of
Take
that.
a little swig of
That
that.
big stein over
Get
there.
you a
That
tug
looks-
off of that, buddy.
That looks rich and enticing right now.
That's the
It
thing.
doesn't
I don't
look
think I
bad.
dumped either a 3 or 4 into that.
It doesn't look bad.
I think I finished.
I think I actually finished 3 and 4. I was just
Yeah.
sipping on that kind of while we were talking.
I think I'm unintentionally. Yeah. Chug.
Let me get a little of this mustard on
All
here.
right.
It's vintage mustard.
Don't be trashing your palates with my spicy mustard now.
Oh, you know what? I should
It's
have thought.
good, and then you get a pocket of really hot. And you're like, whoa.
Some horseradish hiding in a little pocket
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Dan, will you pass me your empty?
That radish pocket.
Yeah, I'm using some of Brian's sauerkraut as like horseradish, not horseradish,
Like a
ginger,
pickled ginger.
yeah, ginger with
yeah.
my sushi. Yeah.
It'll do it. It'll cure what ails you, palate wise and otherwise. So this is 5, huh?
Okay. Yeah.
Country roads, take me
To
Mount-
play
I want
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
I think we sing it horribly enough. We won't get busted by copyright. I don't think there's any chance.
I think they'll
there,
get
so.
flagged. They'll hear it and they're like, no. We don't want. We don't want that associated
We're
with
like,
us.
that
Let it.
can't
No,
be it.
that's not.
That
us.
can't be it. Yeah.
Okay.
See, this
This is
is
not
dark, but it has that same bitterness
Yeah.
that one had, which is it's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
I got a guess on this one. Number 5. Here's my guess. I'm going to throw it out now. Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, it's very. That's
All right. Let's. See
Yeah.
how I did.
This is very much an American style.
yeah.
Hey,
'Cause
Nate,
it mixes
will you
the
confirm
bitterness
if I
with
got
it.
that right?
No,
Is number 5?
Don't
Sierra
don't
Nevada?
confirm
no,
that. No.
Well, I've already threw. Okay. All
Tell
right.
it.
All
Yeah,
right.
just-
Gosh.
Like me and Nate.
Fine,
you know,
never
just make a
mind,
little
Nate.
note.
well, because then I'm
Never
going to be
mind, hold on.
influenced on every other
Okay.
beer that comes down the line.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll tell you it's a good guess,
You-
but
you-
I'm not going to tell you the answer.
Where's the list?
You're the worst.
That was
weirdo,
useless,
Mike.
Nate. It was totally. You
You're the
really said
worst.
nothing there. It's a good guess, but I can't say any more than
I
that.
will say this: it was an American beer.
Well, that much was clear. I think that. Yeah.
Very close.
I think number 2 has to be also an American beer. Oh no, it was at 4.
God, this one. Are you sure you're not giving us the same beer?
Dude, so we
It's
did.
it's a little lighter.
We did a homebrew competition, and it tasted a lot of Oktoberfest, and like we tried to do that, like BJCP judging. So difficult to go through all of those and judge like that.
This has like, if you wait a while before you take it, almost tastes like the grain.
It was. I keep thinking of something fruity at the end of it, but
Almost tastes like the grain.
right, it's definitely different. I think that's been my description on all of them, though.
Different.
It's
This
different.
is different.
This
is a
one's
little
different than the other one.
You know what I think about this?
He
one?
actually just has
It's
a
little
list
different.
of.
All
He's
different,
just
that's all it
writing
says.
this.
Beer descriptors. Different. Malty, different. Wow. You know, I don't know if I've noticed it so much in years past, but I'm getting a lot more bitterness in these than I recall previously.
This one almost smells like an old ale.
The second one that you got?
Yeah, the second one you gave us. It's like that's
That second one's
old ale vibes on that one.
I like
It's just
this. I like
heavier.
the second one.
You like some big giant beers, don't you?
It's different though, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
that second
that's-
one's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's
Okay.
Nice.
Nate's not the only fisher in here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sam, you got called out by JR.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What we got? here?
Uh-oh.
You know what? Just go ahead and
yeah. Tim doesn't
can you
understand
just
that.
block him? I know
No. Keep JR
No, yeah,
around.
J-
no.
JR, keep it going, dude. We
Fine,
got-
JR. Yes, everyone got on my tail for that. I was just wanting to know how my skills were. Maybe it's better to get disappointed later than sooner in impact. I did. You know what? When I tasted it was blind, so I think I followed the rules, JR. I think I followed the rules.
He just wanted answers.
Right.
Quicker.
Yes. I've tasted it blind. Now tell me. Now give me my answers. We going into 3?
Yeah.
Let's do 2 more.
You want 2 more right now?
Yeah, let's do 2 more. Just because segment 4, I want to try and do our wrap up as much as possible. So we'll taste 2 more.
Yeah, number 6 is I'm trying to put my finger
It's
on
like
it.
almost like old ale, like almost like an old,
Yeah.
like very, very light, like Thomas
like a
Hardy
super
or
light,
something that,
a light old ale. Yeah.
like,
Okay.
The nose is like what it smells like, but it's
Brian's
not
on
bad.
board.
It definitely seems more traditional.
Yeah.
I would say that's a fest beer though. I think he's trying to trick us. Get a little
Is it a light Marzen or a dark fest beer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely trying to drink it.
It's different.
Isn't that the same thing?
Right, I'm telling you,
Nah.
man. He's
Well, apparently
Blurred
it's all
lines here.
it's all Oktoberfest beer. So
that's right. It's all that matters.
can't be that wrong.
That's it.
I can't see that part. JR said something, Nate.
What do you say?
You
Oxidized.
say it's
Oh.
oxidized? Is that what you're getting?
You know,
A little
it's
vintage
got.
oxidation there.
I hesitated saying oxidized because this is a blind test, and I don't know. You know, I hesitated saying oxidized. It definitely. It just felt heavier. It was weird.
I will say that I didn't pick up oxidized
Yeah.
right off the bat. Now I'm kind of. Do you have it? Is that what
Yeah.
that one is? Let me get a drink. You'll drink a drink. Let me see.
You know what? Perhaps.
JR with the power of
Perhaps.
suggestion over there.
Perhaps.
But yeah, it's
If it is, it's mild.
Yeah, it would be mild. I
Yeah.
think that'd be.
It's
a
just
tough
on the
call.
nose. because I don't
doesn't-
taste. It doesn't.
It doesn't stick out to me.
As
Now I taste what you're saying about the old ale,
So
but I'm not
Yeah.
getting like that vintage old ale, the musky
it's just
oxidized.
it's
No.
JR,
sweeter.
I'm going with no. I'm going with no. Oxidized would not be the proper descriptor.
yeah, it's
I concur.
Yeah.
Seems like it's made just
There you
have-
go. Right.
That one might have had like the highest alcohol out of all the one, like
But
the
let me tell
physical ABV.
An old an aged old ale that does
say
have a
number
little bit of
6?
that oxidization in it. I'm all about it.
Great.
I'm
Yeah.
on board for it.
I want some floaters in the bottom.
We're gonna do
Right.
6, 7, and 8 on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was asking what he was saying about the alcohol. Were you saying number 6 was the highest?
Yeah, I think feels like that might be the highest alcohol, just because of the way like it felt,
Siete.
like thicker in the mouth. It felt, sweeter, heavier. Like,
Yeah. I liked it.
oh wow, now this smells like a crispy.
so we're on 7 now with this one. I'm gonna I don't know if I want to dump those.
You running out of space there, Brian?
Well, I'm deciding if I want to dump them or not. Maybe I should, just because I'm not going to remember which is which.
I think
there were
last
some
year
notes
when we
of
come
sherry
around
in
to
it.
it.
What's that?
Did we
Some
come
sherry
back
notes?
and like have a little pour of
Yeah, I
the
think we
ones that
did.
we were undecided?
Yeah, we did.
Wow, 7's really good.
Oh,
7's got a
That's not
touch of
what I thought you were gonna say.
It's
7. I got a little light struck out of 7.
I will say I got a little note of flatulence on the nose as I tried it.
a little
But-
smug,
but
in there.
here's what I got to say. That sounds contradictory here. I like the taste of the beer, so
I really
doesn't-
do
It
like
didn't
it.
really
That-
impact my. Jason Pellet, Orpheus Brewing. When I first met Jason, he was looking for bottles of Avec les Bon Vieux. If
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying that right. And I told him I had a couple, but they were light struck. He's like, I'm totally good with that, And at the time, I didn't have an appreciation for light striking beers. I don't know if anyone really does, but there's certain ones that's not necessarily a bad quality. So, have you ever done? What we did one time, Ant? We homebrewed our saison, and we put some in brown bottles and some in green bottles, and then let them sit out in indirect light for like 6 months, and then tasted them as our homebrew.
yeah.
Completely different, and without fail, every single person chose the light struck one as their preferred beer over the brown bottle beer. So because it didn't develop like skunky skunk, they're more almost like another layer, kind of almost medicinal, but in a good way. I went down to a wild beer tasting back when Ryan from Good Word was at Brick Store.
Yeah.
And I have a video where he's
Shout out Skinny.
shout out.
Yeah,
We're
I got
talking
a video
about
of him too.
talking about the beers there, and he's like, they're great. He's like, they're cheesy and they're feedy and they're funky. And come on down. And I'm like, man, if someone had never drank sour beers and you heard that, you'd never want to go down there for that.
Good under
Yeah.
dirty
Yeah.
sock water.
Yeah. Who was it, Brian? Was it what's
What's the what?
the brewer that we talked to that was like really opposed to like horse blanket, cheesy, feedy.
Oh, was it
It was,
the fellow down in California?
Crooked Stave, wasn't it?
Was it Crooked Stave? Might have been.
Who's the brewer? Who's the owner of Crooked Stave? It's escaping me right now.
I don't know. They're in Colorado.
I was thinking another guy, Doctor.
Worm.
Yes, they call him Dr. Worm. He's not a real doctor, but he is a real worm, an actual worm. He likes to play the drums.
Talking to worms now.
That's right.
That's good.
He thinks he's getting good, but he could handle criticism.
I will say, out of the 7 I've tried so far, I do have a very clear standout for me, like unquestionable number 1 spot.
Yeah, no, I mean 7 was pretty good. That last one I had was really good.
What's your number 1?
8.
It's none of your business.
Ooh.
You'll find out later. Do you not know what a blind tasting is? Right, JR? Right.
I'm not on board with 8. I don't think I care much for 8.
No, Sean, we did not post the list. We talked about it. It'll be posted in the show notes when we get it out there, and we will actually kind of recap as we go through. The end of the show when we do our wrap up here.
Yeah, John, it was pleasant. It wasn't off-putting. It was a pleasant.
I don't think I would call it sherry though. I don't know that I got anything sherry.
Well, it's not an old ale.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just had that kind of vibe.
See, like JR says, pleasant.
Chad
oxidation. Like
Jacobson.
I've had that. We had Nancy Palmer on the show, who used to be executive director of our Georgia Craft Brewers Guild. And JR, we had a dogwood. I think it was a dogwood. I forget.
It's right there. Winter
We
ale.
got the bottle over there on the counter. Yeah.
Winter ale.
Grab that bottle, Brian. Let's or Ant, if you can reach it there. You pop
Chad
the shoulder out.
Jacobson.
Chad Jacobson. I
Yep.
think he's the one that said. So
there we go.
that is, I believe, from about 95. And we opened that, and Nancy described it as tasting like an old library.
Tasting like
in
an
a
old
very good, in a very good way.
in the very
And I'm
best
like, you
way
know what?
possible. She's
I'm
correct.
down with that, Nancy.
She's
I'm
correct.
down with
It
that.
held. I remember it. It held up very, very well considering
We
its age.
opened that to celebrate the passage of SB 85.
85. Yeah.
Yeah. So good time.
That's got a little nick in. Oh, it
Vintage
doesn't.
beers.
Oh, all right. I thought this one had a nick in the label. No, it's good.
Nope.
It held up extremely
I
well,
think that
and the
was my
label
last
held up
bottle
well.
of dogwood.
What's that?
I think that was my last bottle of dogwood.
I've never actually had a bottle of it, so
Were you there when we did that show?
I did. Yeah, no, I drank some of this, and I was impressed by how good it was for its age. I really expected it to be really gone. So
8's pretty easy to drink.
yeah,
So
might want to
guys,
take that one off.
Outside of this list, just in general, I'm gonna save this for the show. We could ramble on, but we do have more more.
Yeah, we need to
record.
get back into it.
Going into 3.
Uh-huh. Let's see.
Slightly bitter on 8.
Man, I gotta.
I'm not in
See,
love with 8.
palate
I
cleanse.
don't like.
It's unimpressive.
It's a beer.
I got some weird, like, I don't know if it's
Unoffensive,
stringent.
unimpressive kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if astringent is quite the word for it, but there's something it does to my palate that I don't care for. So
It's almost like it had a hint of 2 in it, just a slight hint
Yeah.
of what 2 did to the
Number
palate.
2 in there.
honestly,
Yeah.
this it seemed like this.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what number 2 did to the
You guys are
palate.
children.
Affirm number 2.
You guys are children.
You just not learning this?
No, but I was hoping
Are you
we'd.
saying you're gonna be?
I
a
honestly
strong
think
number
that-
I would
two?
have hoped we would have progressed in the.
I
past
might-
couple
I might
months.
Have you
actually
seen the
dislike
show, What
8
We
more
Do
than
in the
2.
Shadows?
Yeah. You read the original
Just like
seasons
8.
of that?
Yeah, oh, it's great.
my
The 3rd season just came out.
Yeah.
And it's gold. It's
The original
gold,
season,
man.
I want to say it was like the Flight of the Concord guys.
It is. Yeah.
It's one of
my
them.
God.
Taika Waititi,
Waititi?
and one of the guys
Lost-
from Fly the Conchords.
Lost
yeah.
my mind. It was
Yeah.
so funny.
Colin Robinson, the energy vampire. Just beautiful.
Yeah, he's
He's like, hey guys,
glorious.
you think you could pick up around here?
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah.
pick your stuff in? They're like, nah. He's like, what?
They're having a conversation one time, and Colin says something, and they're like, shut up, Colin Robinson.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I don't have anything to say. Maybe I should just shut my mouth for good. And they're all like, yes. Yeah, that's exactly
Yes.
what we want here.
The vampire in the basement. They're like, don't open that door.
Right. I think someone has summoned a breakfast burrito.
Beer
The
Guys
dude-
Radio recaps
They're
what we do in the shadows.
sitting outside the club, and they're like, "We can't go in until you ask us."
right.
And they were trying to get in, and they were
That
like,
was Kroll that ran the club, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, Nick Kroll ran the club.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
One time
With the
Colin
hat.
And they
Oh, the
Robbins-
just
cursed
stood
hat?
out there. They stood out there, and they're like, "All right, guess we go to the Vampire Club."
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
couldn't
was,
get in normal ones.
gosh, good stuff, man. It's hilarious. There was a time that Colin Robinson had made a decision that he was going to impart humor into life. So he wanted to do an up dog joke. And he kept trying to set people up. He's like, I guess you're feeling a little up dog today. And they're like, oh, yeah. And just walk off. So he got to the point that he held a seance and summoned his grandmother to pull an up dog joke on her. And then once he did, he got bored with her and like blew out the candles and made her go away. What's up, dog? Not much. What's up with you?
What's up with you? Damn it.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right.
We got to get back into the show. We're only
We do.
halfway through.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay.
Go.
Here we go.
What am I doing?
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Cannonball coming.
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our great radio affiliates, WVWI Radio 1 1000 AM in Charlotte, Amalia in the Virgin Islands. Catch Beer Guys Radio on WVWI every Saturday at 1 p.m. Now let's get back to Oktoberfest beers.
Oktoberfest beer tasting, Brian. We are all over it. Marzens, Festbiers, whatever.
Mostly Marzens so far, I think.
Mostly
I mean,
Marzens.
look at by the looks of them, I think mostly.
I think we had one that we were trying to decide, was it a light Marzen or a dark Festbier?
I think some are sneaking
And
in.
where do the two differentiate there when you're crossing those lines?
Yeah, I don't know if there's an actual color like requirements,
Right.
It's an SRM requirement for one or the other. Probably for Marzen, but I don't know about Festbier. Maybe
No
there
one
is.
does.
Yeah,
No one does.
it's impossible to know these
It
things.
is.
then.
It's
Yeah.
totally impossible. Guys, we've tasted 4 more. Anthony, what are your thoughts on round 2? 5 through 8.
I actually like number 8 the best out of those,
Okay.
which I
All
think
right.
was opposite of all of y'all.
All right.
I think that is opposite of me.
I got that little bit of bitterness that we were talking about on some of the others, but it was nice and smooth for me. I like the flavor in it.
Okay. All right.
Number
Good
7
deal.
had a little bit of spiciness or something at the back of it that I didn't like.
Didn't work for you there.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Nate, what you got, man? Round 2 there.
This group was pretty cool. It kind of had a wide range of what was going on with these beers, and some it ranged like we were getting kind of some old ale vibes. Kind of,
Yeah. We talked about that.
Didn't really know if it was oxidation or just kind of maybe a heavier alcohol content in that beer that was being thrown off with the other lighter beers. We had some that smelled real 7, real smooth, nutty though. 8, very easy drinking. 5 was kind of cool because it kind of combined what I liked with 1, which was my favorite so far, and kind of the real fruit, the nutty sweetness too. So I
Okay.
had the best of both worlds, and I kind of
Okay.
like this group. Yeah,
All right.
it's cool.
A good group for Nate.
Yeah, it's a good
Brian, tell me about it.
5 and 6 were the ones I really liked. I thought 5 was solid. I think you had a guess as to what it was. I think that you're on the right track. It might be a different American brewer.
We'll
that does
find
it.
out soon.
But we will find out.
Tune in at 11.
Tune in at 11. Yeah, and it might be 11 before we get through all these.
Yes,
but
right.
you know what? I'm thinking it's 5 and 7 were the ones I really liked. There was something about 7 that has a little bit of a light struck. It had some really nice hop flavor to it. I really liked the kind of a little bit of funky, a little bit of caramely.
Okay.
I liked the more I think about 7, the more I kind of like 7.
Okay.
So
All right.
I was 8 was not. I just didn't like
Didn't
that.
do it
That
for
was
you,
a
huh?
pour. That was a pour directly into the mixer. We're
Into
gonna
the
sip
mixer.
the mixer.
Yes.
We're gonna sip on after the show.
We
Yeah.
have a dump bucket here that is actually a Stein, a Polliner Stein.
It is a
1 liter
Polliner Stein. Yeah.
And last year we consumed it at the end of the show. and it was not bad. It was better than the sum of the stuff we poured into.
I remember saying better than the sum of its constituent parts. I
Right.
think is the
Yeah.
phrase. Yes.
It wasn't bad.
It was not bad, man. It was not bad. I guess the Oktoberfest and Marzens beer there that we put in, the Germanican
Melange.
the
The
melange, the
melange.
spice melange. Yes.
The Fest Melange.
Yes. Yeah. Brian, give your mic to No Mike Nate, please.
All right.
We
All
always
right. Here we
put-
go.
No Mike Nate works hard for the money, and we don't let him talk much. He doesn't get it. And the last time we did let him talk, the only thing he had to say is, "You got 1 minute left." Like we give him a mic to join us on the show, and I'm like, "You're being kind of quiet." And he's like, we have 1 minute left. I'm like, "Oh, thanks. We appreciate your input." Nate, you take care of the blind tastings for us here. You pour for us. So you know what's going on, man. But what are you feeling right now? You know, you may be biased by the labels, but what do you think of the flight so far?
I mean, so far, number one is my top.
One's
of the
there
night,
for
yeah.
you. Okay.
That look like that little honey apple crisp taste to it.
Yeah.
Almost more like a cider than it was a beer. I really liked it.
You dug that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that it was true to what you expect in the style of a fest beer?
No, it was definitely lighter than
Okay.
what I
Does
expected
that
of a fest
matter
beer.
to you? If you order a fest beer and it comes out like that, are you happy?
Yeah, I think I'd be happy with
Okay.
that.
All right.
I think I'd be pleasantly surprised by it.
Okay. Is there any for you that have stuck out right now as I do not care for that?
There's been a couple. Unfortunately, offhand, I don't. remember which ones.
You don't have your numbers like we do, so you're not going to call anybody out here up front. Then,
No,
right?
not of
Okay,
course.
fair enough. All right, Nate, that's all you get, man. I'm done with you now. We'll get you back to no.
I get my
Nate
mic back.
Nate
Yeah.
stays over there. He helps us out a lot here. Keeps the board going. Pours the beer for the tasting, so it's good
He
stuff.
does and tries to trick us with how he pours them too.
Tricksy.
He's going out of his way to
Tricksy.
mix it up,
No
make it
mic.
difficult.
Nate. Brian, let's talk more about some fun facts of Oktoberfest. Let's get into fun because we talked unfun last time.
Well, we got some fun. There was a fair
well,
amount of
you
fun
did
in there.
get in a little. Oh, that's right. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
There. But tell me about some of the fun phrases that these German madmen have come up with for Oktoberfest.
Well, one of the finest ones is the Frühschoppen. Do you know what that is?
I don't recall. Tell me about it.
That is morning drinking. It's the tradition of meeting at a pub late in the morning to drink a Weissbier, or Weissbier, as they might say, and sometimes a meal. It was popular after a church service in the regions of Germany, but it's kind of been in decline with the lack of church attendance. So it's
right.
but
I do remember
it's
that now.
it's a popular German drinking phrase and activity still to this day. So there's that, and of course you've heard "O Zapt is." You know what that is?
It is tapped.
It is tapped. A
It
traditional
is tapped.
proclamation to kick off Oktoberfest, which reminds me, I don't have the stats for it, but people bet on how many hammer hits it takes to tap the traditional keg. And I believe the Lord Mayor actually does the tapping. And at the low end, it's two people. One guy had a string of doing it with two taps, and I believe the guy who did the worst job of it was in the teens. I think it
In
was,
the teens?
yeah, I think it might have been
Just
as
go
high as
home.
60. Yeah, seriously, it's like, are you even in politics? What are you even doing?
Don't
know?
you get stripped of citizenship if that happens?
I think he was ejected
You
from the
cross into
country.
double
Out of that.
digits?
He lost his office
Hey.
and was kicked over to Austria. Yeah,
Have we ever had a single hitter?
no, it's never happened. It's
Oh,
always been
really?
two. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, from what I've
I
seen,
guess-
it's always been two. It takes one to kind of seat it
Gotta
and then penetrate it. So obviously, Prost is cheers. We referenced it earlier. Beer like it, Tim.
You know what? Let me back up, Brian. Hold on. Don't break my flow, okay?
All right,
All
fine.
right. I want to go over and try it, and I want to swing on it like Happy Gilmore style and see if I
With
can
a
get
golf
the
club?
one shotter. No, I don't even need a golf club. I'm just going to run with the hammer.
Okay.
Put my full body behind it so I can tell you that thing's going in or something's going to happen. So, yeah,
Okay.
we'll give it a shot.
It probably will. So beer liking. What do you think of that?
Are
what
we
do you
done
think that might
talking
be?
about me?
We are. Yeah.
We are.
I mean, you might be
So
after that, or before you got to that point, you might actually be a beer liking.
So beer is beer.
Yes.
And lichen, are we talking like moss? Like I actually know this. I'm just playing along with you.
I mean, it sounds like that, but no, Tim.
Nate, do you know beer lichen?
I have no idea.
Do you
what you're
liken
talking
the
about.
beer?
I liken the beer.
It
But you're
is
not beer liking.
It is. I am not incorrect, Brian. I would disagree with you saying that is not what that means.
What's that? That it's moss?
That's what lichen. That's not what I believe the position that they're talking about there is referring to.
Oh, is it referring
The
to moss?
lichen just laid out. there.
Oh,
See,
Well,
put it together there, Brian.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
All
so
right.
liking will grow on the ground or grow on rocks. Just
so
kinda
let's
grow
fill
there.
people in on what beer liking is.
It means beer corpses. So what locals call the people that get drunk too early and pass out in the grass. So in theory, metaphorically speaking,
You're feeling it,
yeah,
right?
I could
Yeah.
see like
Yeah.
they're like the grass on the rocks,
Right.
These drunk
All right.
people. And this one's fun. Gemütlichkeit.
Gemütlichkeit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a state or feeling of warmth, friendliness, and good cheer.
Does that specifically refer to alcohol related or just in general?
I think that's just in general, but they are
Okay.
popular drinking phrases in Germany and would be heard most likely in reference to Oktoberfest.
What does the word Erfolgsgefahrung mean?
That's the feeling. I think it's a feeling of success or something like
Right.
that. The feeling of you get after being successful at something. Erfolgsgefahrung.
Erfolgsgefahrung. I know we're murdering.
Yeah, we
The
named
German
we
pronunciation.
named a homebrew after that.
Did either of you guys have our Hefeweizen that we did named Erfolgsgefahrung?
Erfolgsgefahrung.
Pretty sure I've had.
I bet you have.
I've had like
So-
every beer you made.
Success feeling. is
Success
what that-
feeling,
Feeling
yeah.
of success. A success feeling.
Exactly, and there's a German word for the feeling of success.
Yeah.
I love it.
Germans got some great phrases. I
Yeah.
mean, they really encompass a lot in what they say there.
But based on a little bit I know of German, it probably is a bunch of words rammed together into one word.
Yeah,
They
that's
do
the way
kinda-
most of it is.
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Kindergarten is child,
Garden.
growing
Yeah,
child.
yeah.
A child garden. Brian planting kids out in the yard.
That's right.
So
Hey,
don't forget to water the 6-year-olds.
that's
So,
right.
yeah.
They won't ever grow if you
All
don't.
right. Yes. You're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show, and I absolutely guarantee it's time for us to take a break. We'll be back very soon with more Oktoberfest Blind Beer Tasting.
John said you can come try one tomorrow.
The
They're doing our
keg
Oktoberfest
tapping?
tomorrow.
Oh, we're gonna
Oh,
do
yeah.
it, man.
I should have
Full
mentioned.
spread.
I did the tapping at Der Beer Garden the one time.
You
I got
did,
to hold the
yeah.
hammer up and yell "Ozaftis" and everything. So
Yeah, happy Gilmore it up, man.
that's
Yeah,
right.
John's party last year was fun.
JR, what time you doing it, man? I'm gonna see if I can get out.
It's 2 sessions.
Okay.
It's an afternoon and evening.
Yeah, it's a mid-morning, afternoon, and then an evening session.
We have our anniversary, so I'll probably come out. For
Yeah.
the first.
I'm gonna see.
or-
Thursday, the week now is rough for me to get in town anywhere because the day job is
No, it's
a
Saturday.
grinding.
Saturday.
Tomorrow's not Saturday.
Yeah, that was incorrect. It's on Saturday.
It's on
Oh, did I
Saturday.
say tomorrow?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Saturday.
Yeah, see.
Saturday, tomorrow.
Cool,
They'll-
cool.
Zoom Zoom wall. I don't know what the Zoom wall.
Google it.
Oh,
Okay.
please,
Yeah, there it is.
Happy
Or
Gilmore.
Eric.
12-4-6-10.
Okay.
Please.
All right, man.
Happy
All right.
Gilmore. It.
Tell us what Zoom wall means. I don't. My German is not very good.
WAP.
Eric, the world traveler.
See if he tells us before I Google it.
See if we can get it on there.
Wow,
Yeah.
I got the meaning and then everything. It's
You gonna get red
I
flag?
get no I get it all in German. It's like it gave me the
Great.
I asked for the meaning and it gave me the meaning in German. I'm like I can't read the meaning.
Go to
There it
Google
is. It's another
Translate.
version.
It means probably.
Prost.
It's like
To your
Prost.
health.
Okay.
To your health.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Prost.
to
Okay,
your
why does
health.
it say probably here? Maybe that's it. It's like
Probably.
probably a beer.
Yeah. They're like Prost. You're like, probably.
Yeah.
So
Translate probably to that's make any sense? Enjoyable, comfortable. I don't know. Google is highly suspect when it comes to translating things. I just got to say that. I know that people have gotten in trouble, and there was a story about this where somebody translated it was in New Zealand.
Okay.
They translated the name of a beer into the native dialect of native New Zealanders, I guess.
Okay.
And Google did it wrong. And so it was incredibly offensive. It's something, it was a word that in slang roughly equated to male genitalia. And they did not mean it to be that at all. So they had a beer that was kind of a very offensive reference to a body part. Like, guys, it really is a bad idea to use Google to do your translation.
Like 19-year-old girls, Chinese letter body tattoos.
Yeah.
Oh,
It says, like,
yeah.
Pizza Hut.
It
on their
says
back.
freedom.
Yeah.
It says free spirit right there.
Yeah.
It says cream of mushroom soup. What are you even
Right,
talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah. Hope you didn't pay
Why
too
do
much
people
for
keep
that.
telling me they want some soup?
You know.
To your health. We were asking you, JR, since
We
you
were.
seem
We
to
totally are.
have it up on Google there. But no, you've let us down for the
Full health or
against
something
time.
like that. I think Zoom is
Yeah.
with in German. I'm not 100% sure,
Okay.
but I don't know what the other one is.
You really, when we go out like to eat or something, we're trying to Google a restaurant or something, I'll have them called in like a table set, and Brian's like still looking them up. He's for a tech guy, just kicks his ass.
Buddy.
No, I looked it up and I got
You put it all on your phone.
really bad results
Go to
from
Google Translate.
I'm going there now. Let me check this.
Have you seen those commercials talking about not turning into your parents, the insurance
Yeah.
company?
Yeah.
And I get something that
really
says
need to
for
sign
the
this?
benefit is what it
For
literally
the benefit.
for the benefit.
Do we really need a sign to
Probably.
live, laugh, and love? No.
No.
No, we don't.
But I have one that says live, laugh, and love, but all the pictures are Skeletor. Is that cool?
Is that your house for real?
No, I need to get it printed out.
That would be
Dang.
that would be
Okay.
pretty cool.
Which one is which? Which one's 8 or 9 and 10?
So dark is 9 and 10 is light.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I'm digging aroma on numero nueve.
Dark is 9, yes. Okay.
9,
Dark
light
is 9. All right.
Wow.
Wow. All right. All
That
right.
smells great.
All right.
Yeah.
Which one? 9?
9.
See, I thought I had an easy thing. Now I've got to do a little retasting here. Because this one,
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, right? I dig that. That's good. All right.
That is really good.
So anybody out there that's watching, if you want a good Oktoberfest, we highly recommend number 9. So get
Yeah.
that if you can.
Go get number 9
if you can. Yes. There you go, Brian. Eric's got Wikipedia up there for you. Zoom wall. Cheers. Toast when drinking. Formal toast.
Okay.
Brian.
All right.
None of these casual toasts like you be throwing.
Yeah. So Google Translate said for the benefit. I'm like, what in the heck? What does that even mean?
I like taking stuff and putting it in Google Translate and then translating it back and then translating it back.
Oh yeah. That's like making copies of things like genetically, like sooner or later they get worse and worse and worse,
Yeah.
you know?
Sooner or later, Dolly has a third ear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
This one's-
right.
I think I like this because it's only slightly sweet.
I want
It's
some
like-
sweetness there, but
Yeah,
don't
but
don't too
kill me
much.
with it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Although I
I
can probably
like
handle
I don't wanna
more
get
sweetness than
palate fatigue.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so sweet. You know,
Mhm.
I like 9 a lot.
I
That's
do
good.
like 9 a lot. That's really good.
All right, yeah. Spoiler contender for my favorite there.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and then the big
A little earthy.
All right.
A little earthy on 9 too, which I like.
right at the finish,
Mhm.
right at the
Mhm.
finish of it there. Yeah.
That's really tasty.
All right, I dig that. I'm down to clown with that one.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Shaggy 2 dope over here, down the clown.
Down to clown, man. Down to clown.
We're about
You guys
to.
need to refill your pretzel.
Jokes on you. It's all Fago.
What's that?
You need to refill your pretzel.
Do we need a refill on the pretzel? We're
I'm
close.
good.
Yeah, we're close to it. I'll take another one if you got it. Pretzels are a great palate cleaner.
Yeah. I feel like I should.
Thank you.
After this, see if you go from
Man,
Marzen to Festbier, it's like the Festbier tastes like nothing.
Mhm.
Dude,
you
I
gotta cleanse.
disagree with you. Now I did eat a bite of pretzel though, so maybe I
See,
had the
I
cleanse
didn't.
there.
I didn't.
Okay,
And that's why I was like,
because I can say I'm digging number 10 as well.
Well,
And I
I
think
went
we-
from
Number
from
10 is
9 to
nice.
10,
that's what I did, and it
and I
was like,
oh,
that's
9,
nothing.
It's nothing. It's very
With a
plain,
shot
but
of
but it's
mustard and
good.
bratwurst
Yeah.
in between, Anthony.
That's what I'm trying to
Palate
do now. is
cleansing with
cleansing
mustard and
apples.
sausages.
Little
Yeah.
salt, little mustards or a little.
Yeah.
Did y'all
Wow.
ever see the episode of Cheers where they bring Norm and the other guy in to do beer tasting at one of the big
I don't
breweries?
think I've seen that.
And they're eating and or drinking and drinking.
Dang.
Finally, he goes, "Hey, can we get some palate cleansers in here? Some pizzas or something? You know,
Oh,
he's
pi-
like, can we
yes,
go order
yeah.
some pizzas?" We just- yeah.
Wow, 10 is really good.
It's nice, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that Norm passed away?
Different
Yesterday.
Norm.
Oh, different.
That's
Okay.
Norm McDonald.
Norm
Not-
McDonald, yeah.
Cheers, Norm. Cheers,
Which
Norm
also
is-
makes me very sad. Norm
Yeah.
McDonald, he was perfect to be an old man. All of his stuff translates so well to being
been
old.
crotchety for 30 years.
Yes,
But dude,
he finally
goes
gets to being old.
Prost to Norm.
Yeah,
Prost
cheers
to
to
Norm
Norm.
McDonald. Great comedian, man. From the golden days of SNL.
Oh yeah,
Well, and all of his stuff was like so like just
deadpan.
cringy and like
Oh,
people didn't realize it, but then you'd go back and watch it, and you're just like, that guy's a genius.
Yeah.
like
His interviews too. When people would interview him, he was at his best.
dude,
in some
he's
of
so
those.
good.
Like,
He's so
Yeah.
quick.
oh my god,
And then obviously Saturday Night Live, like Turd Ferguson might
Turd
that
Ferguson.
might be the
I'll take
greatest.
the penis mightier.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
big hat, huh?
Yeah.
Big hat, huh?
It's funny. Like,
Suck a Trebek.
like him doing that. They're like when he was Burt Reynolds in there.
yeah.
He's like, hat.
Burt
Chewing
Reynolds.
gum. He's like, what's with the hat? I don't know. Big hat. Thought it was funny.
You know what? I saw one of those, something cool you guys have to look up on YouTube. There is one of those celebrity Jeopardy segments that they did. They did like this fully 360. There's cameras all over the studio, and you can see like all the behind the scenes and stuff. And YouTube has it set where during the video, you can click on the different cameras, like live watch them shooting one of those celebrity Jeopardy sketches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
That would be amazing.
I love the one with Sean Connery, or whoever was playing Sean
Yes.
Connery on it.
When him and Norm were
Oh,
on there, like Norm
Good
and
stuff.
doing Burt Reynolds. Good God. That's not what your mother said last night, Trebek.
Right. Yes. Will Ferrell, Norm McDonald, just
Yeah.
gosh, classic.
Yeah, like I think Saturday Night
All
Live,
right.
I couldn't watch that anymore.
All right, guys,
It ain't like it was.
let's make. You know what? Pick your top three. Pick your top three. We'll find those out and get them in your order there. Man, that is tough.
10 is so different from everything.
Let me know if anybody wants a report.
Nate, could I please get 3, 9, and 10 again?
And I'll take 1 through 10 minus number 2. No.
1, 2, yeah. No, go ahead and give me number 2 as well. Let's just do this.
I'll use that for the palate
I
cleanser.
do.
right,
I
yeah.
would like number 2 again.
Can you just give me all of them again?
Hey, yeah.
I'm actually.
No,
I'm gonna take a break and run out and use the facilities
That was
real
a
quick.
hard joke.
Wait, so Tim, what did you say? 3,
We do, JR. You're right. 3, 9, and 10.
3, 9, 10. And then Brian, what was it? I would like number 2 again. Anybody else would have a serious request?
Yeah.
No, I really
Blackbirds,
did want number 2.
Oktoberfest Party. All the good stuff out there, man. All the Oktoberfest parties.
Can I get
I think we pre-gamed
One.
with the Blackbird coffee porter, right?
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
With
I
the
saw the
coffee tax.
I got stuck in
Mhm.
traffic, so I didn't get to pregame.
Can I get
That's what you
Y'all-
get for
what
being
y'all
in
have.
traffic, man. Do you
I
have
was
to
gonna
wait
say,
in traffic with your vehicle, man? Can you just go right over?
one?
Well, when you're drinking
5.
chance.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And 7. One.
But I've got a new train horn on it, so
Oh, do you?
I got to use it on the way to
Heck
the
yeah.
Atlanta United game the other day.
All right.
I think the lady peed her pants.
I saw a video the other day. A dude drives like a Civic,
Mhm.
and he said people kept pulling out in front of him.
It's
6.
I put one on my Civic.
Did it?
Yeah.
See?
Well,
I'm
because
I'm sorry.
I put an aftermarket steering
5.
wheel on, and so I had no horn.
Uh-huh.
So what I did is I went and got one of those train horns, and I just hooked it up to a switch. And, my buddy, we put one in the back. So in a 4Runner, that triple train horn setup,
Mhm.
if you take the spare tire out of the 4Runner, there's actually 2 bolts that they're like perfectly with this thing. So we took the spare tire out and hid it under the spare tire
Oh my
well
gosh!
underneath the
Did you
4Runner.
forego a spare tire in order
He
to have a
did.
train horn?
Yeah, he
All
did.
right.
Yeah. But he also had like duct tape on his intake, so it didn't really
All
matter.
right.
But
All right.
we would go to Quick Trip and he would hit that, and this lady like dropped everything in her hands, and she turned around and she just looked at us and she was like, "You stupid."
Right through there, right?
Like
Yep.
right to our faces. we're 23 years old, a bunch of 20. We were dying laughing in this car because everybody in it just like basically peed their pants. Like it's
you know
so
what? I said number 2. I think I
loud.
meant number. Sorry, I meant
Gracias.
number.
What's my numeric? 3, 9,
Number
10?
three.
So
Happened to me
loud.
the
Sorry,
other
I
day,
meant number
the
3.
lady
not 2.
pulled out almost like right in front
3,
of
not
Stats.
2.
She pulled
3,
out
not-
and blocked the traffic in front of us.
Oh
and
yeah,
I just
let her have-
laid on
You're
it.
like,
She couldn't go anywhere.
I've been waiting for this moment since I installed it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
blow her up. Just boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then to that point, I'd only just bumped it a few times, so I didn't get the full effect. And I only got 1 horn on it right now. I've got 2 more to add to it.
Oh, we had the 3, and
Yeah.
I live like a mile and a half from 316, and I would have my roommate hit it at 316, and all the neighborhood kids would sit there, and they were just like, "We hear it," and like I would look at my roommate and just be like, "What?" And he was like, "Is that him?" I go, "Scary, right?" And he was like, "Dude, that sounds like a train coming down Collins Hill Road," and I was like, "It is. It's terrifying." It was great though. It was the best. I recommend buying a train horn on anybody's vehicle.
Dudes,
Put
I
it
got to
on there.
admit, we had a
Put it
little
on there.
upset in the final round here.
Mm-hmm.
Totally changed my game.
Dude, the last
totally
2
changed my game here.
What are you doing to us, Nate? You just
Looks like he planned it out,
Just
man. Come in there and
dropping
just
a
totally just
bomb on us the
wow,
last
wow.
round. Yeah.
This is Art's only retaste that he wanted.
It's Ant, not Art.
Prost.
You just called him Art.
I did call him Art.
Art Story.
Art story.
Art Story is over here.
Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
That's a big hat. That's a big hat.
That's a big hat. It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, it's funny. You know, I saw him do a red carpet interview at like a Teen Choice Awards or something along those lines. And the other 2 people hosting it, the people hosting it were like YouTube stars, comedians, C-level celebrities and that.
Yeah.
He just ate them alive, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, he just chewed them to pieces.
Roasted them.
And they didn't have a show anymore once Norm got out there with him. He just ate them up.
I mean, he's
good,
the
man.
roast
So-
master.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He's good. And who's the dude that you're a big fan of that like we went back and forth? Bill Burr.
Oh yeah, I like
Bill Burr is
yeah.
good too with that kind of stuff. He'll eat people up.
He'll eat people alive. Yeah, you don't.
5 and 7. Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, can I get
ballot is
5?
cast.
Oh, way too late, Brian. Way too late.
You want 5 as well?
Yeah, since 5 came out, that was an interesting one.
So-
I don't think it's going to be quite where I'm gonna.
I think I
End
know
up,
my
but-
winners. I'm just trying to go back through the interesting ones and remake my notes.
Yeah, I took my top 3. Hey, Ant, can you grab some of that Bold Monk on your way through? Let's try his. Is it in the cooler? Yeah, let's try. JR, we couldn't fit you in the flight here, but I want to try.
Oh,
I want to do it. Is that
oh,
Festbiers?
5 is.
All right, let's do it.
Let's be honest, he'd probably win anyways. Freaking guy wins
Unfairly
everything.
stacking the deck there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like he's good at brewing beer or something.
All right.
He's been doing it for 310 years. I remember JR when he had hair.
Oh,
And the wheel was just invented.
That's right.
yeah. I rode my dinosaur to work with him.
Y'all know
we
that's-
we ride shared a dinosaur, a
Ride
T-Rex.
share.
Yeah.
Yes. Uber
Ah.
feats.
Oh, that's funny.
That's how JR lost his
Ubersaurus.
hair. When the wheel was invented, he just rode it around all the time.
So
like
fast.
saying
Just- I thought you were gonna say he got his hair stuck in the spokes or something like that. He had long hair or something.
He got too close to the boil kettle and it blew it all off.
Hey, I'm feeling fancy, man. Hook me up.
Oh yeah.
320 and I never had hair.
There you go. Never.
He's just like a baby his whole life,
It's-
right on top. Just his whole
He came out with exactly the same hair he's got now. Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny, man. That's good stuff.
Little horseshoe head baby.
JR, I don't know if you were horseshoe baby, horseshoe. How does this baby look 9 months old and 30 at the same time? Why does this baby look like it need to do its taxes?
9 months at 90 all on the same day.
JR, I don't know if you were signed in yet, but we were reminiscing back to our
That's
first
tasty.
brew pub show back in 2016 with you and Crawford over there at 5 Seasons West. And 5 Seasons West, one of our favorite places to do Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest, yeah.
I will miss that. I
Yeah.
will miss that.
I do miss that. They they also did the Schweinhaxe. They
They
did
did
do
do
it
Schweinhaxe.
all you
Yeah.
could all you could eat sausage and Schweinhaxe and whatever.
schnitzel.
Yeah. Schnitzel.
So-
yeah.
And what's it? Kaiser Spätzle or whatever.
Oh
the
yeah.
Käse Spätzle, the cheese Spätzle.
Yeah. Spätzle. Yeah.
Spätzle.
Käse Spätzle.
Yeah.
I believe that's right. Cheese Spätzle.
I
think it's just
pretzels, the 5S pretzel.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was a good time. Der Beer Garden's okay.
Der Beer Garden is pretty good, man.
It's a good. You know what? Their Schweinhawks is really good. But the deal
But
at
it's not
5
like the
seasons.
deal at
Yeah,
5
the
seasons.
deal
That
at
was a
5
jam.
seasons was pretty amazing. So
If we did the same thing at Der Beer Garden, it would be a $300 tab.
easily,
So,
yeah. Well, and they also bring out the Schweinhawks. They weren't cheap with the Schweinhauks at 5 seasons, but the Schweinhauks that they've brought out at Der Beer Garden the last couple of times was challenging to eat even one of them on top of the appetizers and liters of beer.
Let's critique JR's beer while we got him here with us there.
Okay.
I've got a new low. I'm sorry. Are we still on?
Are we still on?
Yeah.
Yes, we're still live.
Was this a Fest beer style or American light lager? What was it supposed to be? So, Anthony's on too, man. We may be talking more trash about him than we are.
John drives around in that convertible. No wonder he don't
He
got no
does,
hair.
he does.
It's just gone.
So you know
Yeah,
what?
but he drives it like an old man. So
That's why you need the train horn is to get him out of the way, right?
actually, Anthony's the one that met me and gave me the beer today.
Nice. So straight up, this is very good.
We'll give you our worst.
Nice.
Nice.
Put that one up there. Yeah. I like this. Tasty
It's good.
Fest beer. I get a little grassy note in this one.
Yeah.
And that's something I haven't seen in any of the others. A slight grassy note, but it's clean. Is that a Dr. Pepper palate cleanser you got there, man?
Wow.
He's like, oh my God.
You know what? Much respect. He's got it hidden off the table. He's like, I don't want, I'm going to keep it here. Hopefully they're not jerk faces that call me out if I take a drink. So
I do get the grassiness you're talking about. I get
a little grassy in this area.
It's the hop. It's that floral hop.
Yep.
That he-
Yeah.
The little hop note there.
It's that hop. John, what hop is this, buddy? This is
Fast old man.
he's
the fast old man. Yeah.
super
Tasty.
fast.
This tasty.
Fastest two-finger
It's
type
really
racer.
good.
This is a
Give me a pretzel and a schnitzel, a brat. I'm down. The Abbott, that's their sandwich with brats
Saphir,
and
I can
pastrami.
Saphir.
The Saphir.
Yeah,
Saphir.
that's that hop. That's great.
is it Saphir or Sapphire?
I believe this Saphir.
Okay.
Sapphire would be
has two
two
Ps.
It's
Ps.
2 Ps.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure.
I just got back from Denver, guys. I'm pretty up to date on my hops.
I know.
He has been in
every
Denver.
single one of them.
But I was gonna say you might still be feeling the effects of Denver. I'm just saying, you got to recover from Denver.
How was CBC?
Oh, awesome.
Did you go out, Ant?
No,
Okay.
the restaurant had me tied down.
I
I'm trying to
gotcha.
get it finished
Okay.
up. So.
It was cool. Surprisingly, a lot less exhibitors this year. Which
right.
And that's what I
we
heard was
figured
gonna
that.
happen,
Yeah,
too.
like,
Yep.
but
No
really,
Falling
really
Rock
cool.
Tap House, though, right?
No, yeah,
No Falling Rock.
no.
Sad.
We looked at that. We were just like, we were bummed.
Oh.
I mean, I think it was one of the first places Nick wanted to go, and it was just like, oh, it's not there.
Did they? Is that the place that auctioned off a bunch of their beer?
Yeah,
at one point.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
I remember the story. I've never been. You went out there,
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
Great spot, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Sorg, you think you're funny?
Michael Sorg.
Nah,
They don't know
that was-
nothing.
I don't know why they invite me to this.
We don't either. Comic relief.
Why
Yeah.
don't we let the
I should
warehouse
do
guy go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Send Nate. He'll do anything.
yeah. He's like, all right. No, man, Denver's one of my favorite beer towns. Now,
I love it.
I've still got a few big ones I need to check off the list, but I really enjoy.
Yeah. We hit
Denver.
Black Project,
Yep.
Cerebral,
Yep.
Ratio. You know, we
Mhm.
did the Rhine. We did all the district tour, and it's so good out there.
It
and
is.
Not the minute you walk out and everywhere you look, there's just mountains in the background. And you take that.
Oh,
for
it's
granted.
gorgeous.
It's so cool. And we did get to go fishing one day, which is
Oh, did
awesome.
you get out
Oh,
to do
man.
that? All right.
Bucket list stuff.
Well,
you know.
Nick from Cherry Street is a big fisherman as well,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, me and him, we try and get out once a weekend. Me and him
Okay.
get out on the
I'm
river.
jealous.
So
I do
if-
watch your Instagram feed specifically
Yeah.
because you're catching the trout.
yeah, if
I
you
love
guys
that. Yeah.
find us on cold ones
Little
back
bit
in
of
the
this and
truck.
that
So
there.
yeah, come hang out, and you might
Good
might
stuff.
find yourself in North Georgia with a cup of cherry street.
I used to do a little fly fishing, and I'm jealous when I see that.
Well, come back, man. Let's do it.
I'll
We'll
have
get you
to.
out
I
there.
have to leave the house, and I don't know if my waiters still fit. You know, all those things.
Right.
They always fit. Your waiters always fit. They may
That's
fill
why
up
they
with
make 'em
they may
stress.
fill up with a little water,
this-
but they still
At
fit.
this point in time, they would probably crumble the minute they touch the water. Poof. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess I'm getting wet.
I think he said it's just water weight that fills it up. I think that's what Nate just said. So,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Could be it.
The camera adds at least 75 pounds.
Oh,
yeah.
easily. I mean, have you seen this camera? Like,
Yeah,
I think
right.
it advertises add 100
Are
pounds.
we using some weird fish angle
We
there
are.
or something?
We're
there?
using it's called the fat eye. I don't know
Fat
if you
eye.
saw that. Yeah, that's the angle.
Yes.
That's the angle we got on
Can
there.
we get a new lens, please?
JR, I like this beer a lot. This is
Yeah,
tasty.
yeah,
tasty.
very.
I like this a
very
great
good.
deal.
The Saphir is awesome.
I would drink this by the
dig
liter.
it. Yes.
Does it come in a liter?
Saturday.
It will,
Oh,
right?
on Saturday it would. Yeah.
Gents, why don't we go into our fourth segment and do our wrap up and talk about what we love here?
Yeah, Anthony, I did bring those trout, by the way.
No, we'll I will have you reveal as we go through. Like, you got the lip written down? Yeah, let me go ahead and
Cheater.
get on that. All right. Guess one of us has got to know here.
Have we picked our winners yet? No.
Hang on one second.
Jeez, rushing me.
Have you already picked your winner?
I think I was wrong with my guess, wasn't I? Was okay.
He only cares about his guess. He doesn't care about the list.
Hey, but the one that okay. All right, guys, you ready for this?
We're going to give our top one before you give the list?
No,
okay.
yes, we'll go through that. I'll
Okay.
tell you. Yeah, we'll you know what? I'm gonna play it by ear. We'll
Okay.
see what we do here. There's no telling what'll happen once we roll. Nate, when you're ready, let's do this.
I'm on the outro.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Shake it back!
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. If you enjoy the show, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/beerguys. Patrons get cool perks like Beer Guys swag and commercial-free episodes. Now let's get back into the last bit of the Oktoberfest tasting.
This is it. We have tasted 11
Yes.
Festbiers and Marzens. I want to throw in, we've been chatting online through our live stream. If you'd like to join us for the live stream, check out our Facebook page. But John Roberts, JR of the Bold Monk, has been on. And Ant, you were kind enough to bring some of his Festbier in. We tried that one. It didn't get in the blind tasting.
It did not.
But we tried that, enjoyed it. Light, tasty Festbier, a little grassy note to it. Saphir hops, because Nate knows hops. And he says it's Saphir, not Sapphire.
He also asked about him. So, yeah.
And we enjoyed that. So that was tasty. JR, thanks for the hookup there. We appreciate it very much. Ant, I'm going to start with you, man. I'm going to start with you. So your top three, what was your number one? No, let's go backwards. What's your number three?
Number 3 was 5.
Number 3 was 5. Do you want to make a guess as to what that was?
Well, you guessed Sierra Nevada.
I did.
I think you were wrong.
Okay. You are right that I was wrong. There
I
you
do
go.
have a guess for that one, too.
Okay.
But,
All
go
right.
ahead. Go ahead.
You know
go
what?
ahead.
Do you got a guess
I
on
didn't
it?
have a guess.
Okay. Brian, what do you guess?
I was thinking that number 5 was likely to be Sam Adams.
You are wrong as well.
Oh, was I?
Nate, you want to get in on this number 5 guess action?
I would have said that was the Sam Adams.
Okay.
Year.
All right. That is our friends at Ironmonger Brewing.
Was it really?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. So Ironmonger there.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5 is Ironmonger Brewing. Yes. And Brian, we drank that this weekend in the studio and dug
And
that.
like that a
Yeah.
fair amount.
Yep. Okay.
Not to spoil anything, but they make it pretty high up on my list. Still
Okay.
blind
Uh-huh.
tasted too.
Yeah.
So
Ant, your number 2, your numero dos.
Oche.
Oche.
I guess that's the Ocho.
Ocho.
Yeah.
Ocho. The Ocho.
Oche.
Going to Germany for this one. Paul and her Martzen.
Okay.
Paul and her Martzen there. And what took your top dog spot?
The number 10.
The number 10. Wow. Wow, Nate. Wow. I think we were all wowed by this one.
Uh-oh.
Samuel Adams Festbier.
See, that was, I thought
How
was a
about
good-
that?
Sammy
All right.
Adams in number 10, and I think we all dug that. I would, you know what? I'll have to see what the rest of the list comes together. Madness.
I think it
This
is.
is
It is every year.
madness.
It's crazy.
This
Wow.
is nuts.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. We're going with guest first here, Brian.
Okay, go ahead.
Nate,
Yep.
number 3 for Nate.
Number 3, I had number 9.
Number 3 is number 9. Number
yeah.
9 is Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Oh,
Right?
How about that?
How about
Which is
that?
the first Oktoberfest I ever had in my entire life.
I think that's
Same
probably a
here.
lot of people probably hit that
Mhm.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic one there. Numero dos.
Numero dos, I had number 5.
Number
We talked
5.
about it
Okay.
earlier.
Ironmonger Brewing.
Yeah.
There. Ironmonger coming in strong with a
That-
good one there.
It really combined
Yeah.
the bitterness
Yup,
and the sweetness
yup.
that I liked, and that was really good.
Good stuff.
Numero uno,
Yes.
10 baseball bats out of 10.
10 out of 10, man.
Number 10.
Number 10. All right. Sam Adams is coming in strong already.
Crazy.
How about that, man?
And
How
that was the
about
fest beer, right? The 10 was
10
the
is
fest
the
beer?
fest beer.
Yeah.
9 is the Oktoberfest.
I did get fest beer right.
Okay. All right. You get you guessed that one. You
I
got
guessed
that one.
that,
All
yeah.
right. Yep. Are you just saying the style or you thought that was Sam Adams fest beer?
No, I had no idea what beer it was. I was like,
Style.
I could get
Is
the
that
style.
really worth bragging about? Is that, I mean, was it that much of an
Ooh,
accomplishment?
50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, shut up, Tim. Shut up. Right.
Whatever.
So, whatever. Brian Hewitt, what's your number 3 beer?
Oh boy, this was tough. Between 1, 3, 5, 9, and 10, it was hard to decide.
Wow.
But
How many did you? You know what?
I mean,
guys,
those were-
between number 1, 3, 5,
So this
9,
was
and
your
10.
number three.
Also, 2,
Yeah,
7,
that's right.
good.
I'm looking
Right.
forward to drinking the dump bucket, basically. Yes. My number 3 was number 5.
Number 3, number 5, Ironmonger Brewing. There, man.
And I said that
Ironmonger Brewing.
they were high up there. It's a really great beer, really solid.
Yeah.
I actually thought that they were the other one that was a higher up than that. But
Okay.
my number 2 was number 10.
Number 2, number 10, man. As you know, Sam Adams Fest beer.
And my number 1 was actually number 3.
Number 3, that was the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest March.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I-
what me
that.
and Nate thought was Sam Adams.
Yep. We
Yeah.
both wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Brian, swing your mic around to no mic, Nate. there.
all right. We'll do that.
Nate, I know you didn't blind taste here, but did you pick favorites as we went along?
So number 1 was definitely one of my favorites. I mentioned that earlier.
Okay.
I really like number 10, and I
All
had
right.
previously had number 5 and liked it when we first had it last year and
Yes.
this year, and it still is really high up there.
It's
for me.
there, right? Number 1 was the Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer.
Yeah.
And what was the other one you said you like? You said 5, you dug.
Yeah, the Ironmonger Marzen and then
Yeah.
the Sam Fest beer.
Yeah. Yeah, man. How about it? Crazy stuff, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, here's my blind tasting rankings. In my number 3 spot, number 9. Number 9 was Sammy Oktoberfest. And Brian, I noted, I didn't mention this earlier, but we always include Sam Adams.
We do,
want to
yeah.
do a mix of the German classics. We always want to get a little love to our locals, but really we want ones that anybody around the country, anybody listening to the show can go find.
Widely accessible.
Yes.
It's interesting that Sam Adams from year to year is different, though. We've had a few
Yeah.
years where they have not placed well. They did
With-
well
that
this
was
year.
my point there, is
Yeah.
that Sam Adams generally does well for us, but they have had off years.
Indeed.
And obviously came out strong this year based on what we're looking at. So my number 3 was number 10, their fest beer. My number 2 was number 3, which was the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest Marzen. And my number 1 was number 10, the Sammy Fest beer. So Sam,
That's a good one,
taking
yeah.
2 of my spots there.
Man.
So, yeah. And you know what? Number 5, I was playing around with there. Number 5 was another one that I had to, kind of contend with. And what's the other one that I had on there? Number 5.
But the number 5 was a good one.
8 was pretty good. Like number 9, my note says bang up, great, delicious. Definitely a contender is what I've got here. Number 10, tasty fest beer. My notes on number 3, malty, rich, little sweet. I guess number 3 is Ironmonger. So did I get
also,
Sarah, you know what?
I also guessed that number 3 was probably
I had
Ironmonger.
Sierra Nevada and Ironmonger backwards from each
I
other
did as
there.
well. I did
So,
as well.
Mhm.
Based on
Yeah.
my recollection of the beer, that
Yeah.
the one was a little bit more like what I remember the other one being. So, I mean, both really good beers.
Right. So let's run down the list here of what we've got. We have our number 1 that we tasted. This is going through the list in the order that we tasted them. We're just going to go through here. Number 1 was the Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer. Number 2 was Bell's Oktoberfest beer. And unfortunately, guys, I think we were kind of mutual that we did not care for that
I think
one, right?
most of us did not care for that one.
That surprised me.
Yeah, from Bell's.
usually does pretty good.
I
That
assumed
one-
they were going to be kind of.
Yeah. Well, they missed it there. Fest Marzens. Number 4 was the Yingling Oktoberfest. What are my notes on that? What'd you guys?
That one
think
has
of
a
that?
touch of tart
That
to
one's
it.
a fruity,
I
tarty.
got a little tardy, and it
Yeah.
seemed out of character for me, so it was never even in the run.
uncharacteristic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Notes, yeah.
I don't like the taste of it. I had it actually in my top 3
Okay.
until we got to the end.
Yeah, hung up there for you.
Yeah.
Number 5, as we mentioned, Ironmonger Marzen. I've got Tasty here. Tasty Malty, are some of my notes there that I enjoyed. Number 6, Highwire Zirkus Fest. Any thoughts? You know what? I noticed that one was a little more bitter.
That was
in my taste.
I
That
think
was the
that was
old
old
ale.
ale.
That was
And
the
I
old
thought
ale.
That's what- yeah, we
I
got
thought
that.
that was it was like different syrup, different. That was the joke we had. It was
It
different, but it
felt
was syrupy
heavier.
and
It felt heavier.
yeah, it was. What was the? Do you remember what the ABV was on that?
I've
That's
got
the
it
one
on
he
the
was
notes
calling
here
his-
if I could find it there. So
Yeah.
And I actually had that in my top 3 when I was pushing them around for a little while.
the number 7, the number 6,
6%.
Highwire.
6%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6%.
Okay. So it's up
Gotcha.
there ish. Not the highest maybe, but it's
Yeah.
up there.
In our number 7 taste of beer was the Hacker Shore Marzen. And any thoughts on that one, guys?
I
Anything
like
to
that
add
one.
there?
That one had a
That
little
one-
funk to
that-
it.
the-
I like that one.
The way that one smelled, it smelled
Uh-huh.
like noble hops. Like you could just smell old
The
world
noble
German,
hops there.
old world German hops in that.
Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
really like that one. I had that as originally. I had that as
That was
up in the contender.
that was
Gotcha.
going to be a contender, and it
Yeah.
just got lost with everything else that was
Okay.
good. But I like
Yeah.
there was like a little bit of that light struck funk. There was some like caramel to it. I really like that one too.
Dug
So
that one.
I'd be down with
Yeah.
that.
Number 8, Paulaner Marzen on that one. Thoughts? Comments there?
My notes were I'm not digging this. I'm not into this
Okay.
one. Yeah.
That was the one
Fair
that
enough.
was the one for us. That was just like it was there. It wasn't super impressive. It was just it was very traditional. It was very run of the mill.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
It's good though. I could.
That's how I had it described too, is like just a beer, but
Yeah, easy
just- I
drinking.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that's
easy
that's what,
drinking.
I mean, that was one that I could see sitting down and having multiples up.
Cranking them out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I put it at number 2.
Good stuff. Well, guys, and I think we know because we talked about this one, 9 and 10 were the Sam Adams Oktoberfest and the Sam Adams Fest beer, which is new this year. Have they done Fest beer before?
I think it's new.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Oktoberfest
remember
and a
seeing
Fest
it.
beer
I'm
there.
impressed. This is a really good outing for them.
How
They've
about
done
that?
really,
Way
really
to
well
go,
this time.
Sammy.
Well done, sir.
I
Well
wonder
done.
if snuggling up with old Dogfish Head helped him any there.
Possibly. Maybe they got some
Who
insight
knows,
into brewing because dude does know his way about brewing. But
Could be.
again, the guys at Sam Adams have been brewing for a long time,
know
so
their
they
stuff as
also
well,
know
man.
things
They know
about
their
brewing.
stuff as well. So
Together, they brew even better.
they do.
Yeah.
2 great things that taste great together.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, guys, we're about out of time here. Oktoberfest show, check it out. If you want more details, listen to the show. Definitely tell your friends to listen. Go to our website, beerguysradio.com. In the show notes, we'll have some more info on the beers that we've got here. We're also going to have a link to our Oktoberfest playlist on Spotify, and you need that in your life.
You do. Yes.
Huge thanks to Ant Storey for 1, sponsoring the show, 2, hanging out with us. Anthony brought whiskey with him as well, so we're going to post game here a little bit. The after party is a good time. Good stuff. Nate Scheiber, Cherry Street Brewing, great friend from many, many years ago.
Yes, sir.
Beer and meter-long sausages and all kinds of good stuff.
Thank you for
joining us,
having me
guys.
out.
Absolutely,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
time. And thank you all for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate it very much. Join us next week for something. We'll figure it out. I don't even know what we got going on, Brian.
I'm not sure at
We'll
this point.
figure it
Yeah.
out.
It's
Yeah.
up in the air.
It is. Yes. But for more craft beer info, do follow us online. We are Beer Guys Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great week. And don't forget to drink local. Prost. Clear.
See you later, JR. Great beer.
Todd.
Oompa,
See ya.
JR, take care, man. Fun chatting with you there. Todd Major. Haven't seen Todd in a minute.
Yeah,
Oh,
Todd.
wow, Todd.
They were
Meet
Todd in a
Assassin
minute. Yes. you
Bill
just
Boyer.
Now you're
Yeah,
good.
they were at Brick
Bill
Store
there.
doing
Yes,
a
Bill
cheese,
Boyer.
cheese and Orpheus beer
said
tasting
Bitburger.
tonight.
You know what? I think we had Bitburger a couple years ago and did not like it, did
The
we?
Pilsner.
I'm
It's
trying
like
to
a bitter Pilsner.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We love you too, JR.
Yes.
Love you, buddy.
You're the best.
How do you do the heart hands thing? I'm not very coordinated. Just
Everybody throw up some
assume
heart
these are
hands
heart
there.
hands. Like
They're heart
this
hands.
stuff,
Yeah.
it looks like carpal tunnel syndrome, but it's actually a heart.
We are
It's
the
fine.
world.
That's
We
right.
are the chill.
Tide Major and several of them were at Orpheus and Orpheus Beer and Cheese tasting.
Oh,
at
yeah, Brick
tonight,
Store, right?
Oh yeah, the beer and
So-
cheese. Yeah.
We'll rub it in, guy.
The pairings there for that. Bernard
Yes.
did a
Willis.
show with us
Okay.
on
Love
beer
him.
and cheese pasting and pairing, and
It was
pretty
awesome.
educational and impressive there.
Yeah.
Love that dude.
That cheese
he's
was amazing.
It was
hilarious.
good. It was good. Yeah, we went to a local cool provisions joint.
that was
Oh,
that was
yes,
Brian's
fair enough,
idea.
fair
That was
enough.
Brian's idea. That was Brian's idea.
That's fair. That's fair. Absolutely. Yeah. Madness, guys. You know what? Our online friends, thank you so much for joining us and chatting with us. We're going to log off of here. We'd still love to know if you see this and you're digging a certain Oktoberfest anywhere. Let us know.
Tell us.
Tell us in the comments. Drop us an email to beerguys@beerguysradio.com. Call and leave us a drunk message at 678-861-8ALE. Maybe we'll play it on the show.
Maybe we will.
You-
We
there's just
can.
no-
Yeah, we have the
can do
ability.
that. We
Yeah.
have the ability.
Yeah.
We can rebuild it. So
Yes.
thanks, y'all. Have a great week. Happy Oktoberfest. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.